All right. Hi, everybody. It's me, Contrary Motion, back again with another Suikogaiden Sunday. We're back with Suikogaiden Volume 1. Hello, HO. How are you doing? After a slight technical hiccup at the beginning of the stream there, but it looks like it should all be in place now. So last time we played the first two chapters in which Nash uh, spent a little bit of time with his future old lady and helped her kill an ex, and then was in the background during the Muse stuff from Rio and Joey's adventure, where they went to the Highland camp and Joey got captured. So now we're gonna go on and see what Nash runs into now. Return from New York. Oh, what were you doing there? Oh, it helped to unpause the emulator. That's why. So last time we deliberately saved up all of our luck points, and so we can take the B path this time, which we haven't done before, I don't think. Selfie with the big green French lady. Oh, that sounds almost like a Muppet in a way. Did you have any good pizza? I'm skeptical of New York's claimed pizza superiority, to be honest. All right, episode 3, A Place to Return to. And just so you guys remember, these Suikogaiden streams are a little shorter than the regular stream because it's so much reading. All right, let's get a move on. It's only been 2 weeks since I entered the city-state's territory, and now I've gotten myself into the biggest mess yet of this whole infiltration mission.
Oh, it's him. It's that Harmonian rat Lord Luca was talking about.
After Muse fell to the Highland Army, I learned of Luca Blight's absence and snuck back into Muse, which had become the Army's main base, but it was there that my luck ran out. The library from the opening of Ghostbusters? That's the one with the scary ghost lady in it, right? But not the ghost blowjob. That happens somewhere else. He's just toying with us. It's worrisome that he appears to be able to come and go as he pleases. Even though Luca Blight wasn't there, my own arrogance had gotten me into this mess. I thought that I'd managed to escape the garrison and arrived at Muse's western border ahead of the pursuit squad that was still blundering along behind me. If I could just make it through the forest ahead of me, I'd be in Greenhill, another member of the city-states. I think probably 30 years ago, the difference in pizza was probably more noticeable before the rest of the world discovered how you make good pizza.
For starters,
The commander called Seed swung his long, narrow sword at me. I managed to dodge it, but just barely. It seemed that attack was just for testing me.
oh, you avoided it. Are you enjoying yourself?
Seed, one rat isn't worth toying with. Finish him off.
Let me play with him just a little.
Shit. Is he just playing with me? Discreetly, I slip a cylinder wrapped in paper out of my sleeve and into my hand.
Well, you see how it is. So just give up already and enjoy your trip to the afterlife. Try not to hold a grudge.
As if. I have no plans to go to the afterlife anytime soon. I have a lingering attachment to this life. I've grown rather fond of it.
Well, that's just too bad for you.
He came at me once more, prepared to strike. This time he was serious. As he was a master swordsman, it was extremely difficult to try and read his moves. I closed my eyes and concentrated on the bloodthirst emanating from my opponent. It was sink or swim now. I didn't dodge his attack, but instead took the chance to crush the tube I held in my hand. Gunpowder? That helps, and at least it's not Chicago pizza.
Son of a... What the hell was that? Where'd that bastard go?
It seems our foe is no rat, he's a charlatan. As it appears he managed to escape us yet again, we'll have to arrange a search party. If this turns into a mountain hunt, locating our prey will be no easy feat. Hello, Tenkai.
That won't be necessary. Just look at the blood on my sword. That injury should slow him down considerably.
Too bad Nash didn't take out the cursed swords on his back. Somehow they'd anticipated what my next move would be, and had ambushed me while I'd been traveling along the mountain path that led from Muse to Greenhill. Rumor has it that the Highland Army will be going after South Window next, and that they found a secret agreement with the Knights of Matilda. My only choice is to try and get to Greenhill. Be that as it may, my wounded right leg is throbbing relentlessly. One of the techniques I'd learned with the Howling Voice Guild was how to escape. While my opponents had been blinded by the flash I set off, I used my wire to escape that beast general's attack, but his sword had still managed to find me. The whole day has already passed, but I can't afford to be careless. The first pizzeria? That wasn't just like an old Italian guy with a street cart, I assume. The forest opened up, and before me lay a bridge destroyed by a storm. I knew it. Lady Luck has left me high and dry. There's another path that leads down into and along the valley, but it's quite the detour. Between the wire and my aching leg, I'm not sure if I can make it to the other side. But either way, it's a gamble, and the Highland search party will be catching up with me soon. Well, what should I do? Alright, let's go! Jump across, baby! I am not 100% sure we can get the true ending on this path. It doesn't look like we can get enough luck points, but I may be wrong. Somehow I was able to get myself across the chasm and to the other side. Lady Luck was with me after all. Perhaps this was my reward for all the trouble and disasters up till this point. Dragging my injured leg, I hurried on through the forest. If I'm right, the Highland Army shouldn't be catching up to me anytime soon. Even on horseback, that detour along the valley should take at least half a day. If I hurry, I should make it to the main road to Greenhill. Huh?
Traveling along this mountain path with an injury like that. Now why would someone do that, I wonder? Say, brother, are you a traveler?
Yeah. I'm on my way to Greenhill.
Walking down the mountain trail like this? Well, I don't know what your reasons are, but you're only making it harder on yourself.
What are you trying to say? Yep, the leader of the Kitty Cat Army.
Oops, not good. Well, there's no need to make such a scary face. All I'm saying is that walking all this way must be difficult. This horse here sure would make your journey a bit easier, wouldn't she?
I see. Well, how much is she?
Oh, brother, you don't miss words. Let's see. What do you say to 1,000 potch?
That's surprisingly good-natured of you.
You appear to be wounded, brother, and I suspect that there's a story behind it. In South Window, I'm known as Hoy the Generous.
In South Window, you're known as Rio, the general of the Kitty Cat Army.
Giving a ride to an injured man is the least I could do. Oh, it's fine, it's fine. No need to thank me.
It certainly would be quite a struggle to drag myself through the forest with this wounded leg. And 1,000 potch is like a godsend, but I don't trust the look in this man's eyes. What should I do? Uh-oh, what do we think, guys? Do we take the horse or don't we? Obviously Hoya's not trustworthy, but it might be funnier if we do trust him. This doesn't appear to make any difference. I don't trust ugly people. It's true, he looks like an off-model Rio. This all smells a bit fishy to me.
Oh, come now. Surely you can't find a reason to doubt the one they call the most honest man in Greenhill. What a sad day for mankind this is.
Is this horse really yours?
Oh, and now you brand me as a horse thief? How awful. If you're gonna be like that, then you can just forget it. When I get to Muse, I'll be sure to tell them I passed a suspicious fellow on the way here.
Hey! Hold on just a minute. Don't...
1,000 potch.
I get it.
Thanks, your patronage is appreciated. If we ever meet again, I hope you'll consider purchasing something again.
As soon as I'd bought it, I climbed on the white horse. I'd forgotten how good it felt to ride a horse. She's been well cared for. I tug the reins a little and the sound of hooves clopping starts lightly echoing through the air. It's too bad I don't have coconuts for a little sound effect. I look over my shoulder and see the man send me off with a forced smile pasted on his face. Alright, what happens next? Swaying on top of the horse, I advanced along the mountain road. The road gradually became more and more rugged until it was little more than a deer trail, only big enough for about one horse. Naturally, there were no travelers taking this path on foot. Suddenly, the horse stopped in her tracks. I could see something directly ahead of us. A girl collapsed, lying on her back. Is she dead? Hi, Wakaba. That doesn't look like Wakaba, though, does it? Sliding off the horse, I walk over to the girl. She looks about 15 or 16. I tap her lightly on the cheek, and she gives a small groan. It seems she's not dead after all. It couldn't be. She actually looks like Rio. Particularly the way he looks in this game. This is Femboy Rio.
Huh? Where am I?
Hold on. You don't know where you are? You're lying in the middle of the road.
I'm sorry. I was in the middle of my training when suddenly everything went dark.
Must be some training to have made you pass out and fall that deeply asleep. Oh, Joey knows. Joey knows.
Oh, I'm sorry for worrying you. The name's Wakaba.
I'm Nash.
Mr. Nash, nice to meet you.
Uh-huh. So, Wakaba, since you were sleeping here, can you tell me what exactly it was that you were doing?
Yes, sir. I was training.
Training, you say? What sort of training were you...
Well, I want to be strong like my master. Or stronger, at least, but my goal is to defeat a bear.
A bear? Are you serious?
Oh, I just mean some guy called Victor. Ah,
What?
huh? The sun is already this low in the sky? I'm supposed to meet my master in Tinto. I was supposed to run there as part of my training, but I ended up here instead. By the way, which way is Tinto? I've kind of been going in circles.
That's true. With baldness comes power. Well, why don't we travel together?
Together?
Yeah, I'm on my way to Green Hills, so rather than walk all the way through this forest, wouldn't it be easier to ride with me? Nash picking up 15-year-old girls.
Huh? You don't mind sharing your horse with me? Wow, Mr. Nash, that's so kind of you.
Yeah. But I don't have any time to waste. Let's go.
Okay.
Jeez. So, you're training to become a martial artist? Isn't it unusual for girls to learn hand-to-hand fighting the way you are? Not in this universe.
I'm the only one in the dojo.
Huh, is that right? So it isn't very common for girls to learn martial arts then.
No, I mean I'm the only pupil at the dojo.
Huh?
I'm the only one good enough to be a pupil at the master's dojo. So if I don't do my best to become as strong as I can, I'll only be a bother to him.
I see. Well, gambatte.
Thank you. But my parents are always begging me to let it go.
Well, they must be worried about you. They don't want you getting hurt. I can understand how they must feel. He hasn't encountered a giant woman yet.
Yeah, I think so too.
Huh? Did I say something strange?
No, you just seem a little like an older brother, Mr. Nash.
Really? Huh. Actually, I do have a little sister, so I might have spoken to you like that without thinking. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's fine. So you've got a little sister, Mr. Nash? That must be nice. I'm an only child. If I had an older brother, he would look like Rio because there's a family resemblance. I'd want him to be like you, Mr. Nash.
Yeah?
Yep. You and your little sister must be close. Too close. I wish I had something like that too. Huh? I'm sorry. Here I am saying all these strange things. I'll watch what I say from now on.
No, you didn't say anything wrong. So one of my pet peeves in Japanese to English translation is when people translate hennakoto you as saying strange things. That is literally what it means, but obviously it means speaking in a way that's inappropriate for the context. No, like speaking out of turn, I guess is the best way to put it in English. No, you didn't say anything wrong. I was just remembering things from a long time ago. We continued to make light conversation as we made our way through the forest, when the sound of running water reached my ear. A river? No. Is that the sound of a small waterfall? Or at least in this case, it's speaking out of turn. I guess in other cases it would mean something else. Be inappropriate or whatever. Either way, the timing couldn't be better. I told Wakaba about the waterfall, and she steered the horse towards a side road where the bamboo grew thick. She seems really short. I guess they had to girl her up for this? I don't know why. But I felt like Wakaba was, like, at least as tall as the other characters. The horse can't go any further than this.
The trees grow so thick here that we can't see it, but there's a faint sound of a waterfall coming from over there. You've got good ears, Mr. Nash.
It's not really anything to brag about. Well, I'm gonna go on ahead a little, so could you look after the horse, Wakaba? We wouldn't want it to get stolen. And then resold.
Sure, you can count on me. Whether it's a horse thief or a bear, if anyone attacks, I'll beat him back.
I think the bears are the rarer of the two. Actually, that's probably not true in the woods, right? Alright then, I'll be right back.
Okay, take care. See you soon.
I made my way through a thicket that grew about as tall as a child and found a spring fed by the little waterfall. The water was cool and refreshing, and ripples spread out over the face of the water. I better bring Wakabe here too. While thinking this, I approached the spring. Normally I would have been more alert, but my guard was down. Alright, time for my flat... Huh? And where did I put it? Yeah? Who even is this? Oh, it's Ida? That doesn't look like her either. Well, we can't see her nipples. Isn't that water cold?
I'm just cleansing the impurities. There's no cause to be alarmed.
Yes, quite right. Well, it's none of my business, is it?
Will you be bathing as well?
Forgive me, I just came here to get some water. Not to do anything like that. I wasn't expecting to see a young woman. I didn't come to peek. No, I mean, I wasn't peeking at all. So, not yet, but he will. Please excuse me. Ugh, Shiro probably watches.
Oh, Mr. Nash. That sure was fast. Huh? You're soaked in sweat. What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong. Let's just...
Huh? A woman?
Oh no, wait. Please. I would never ever do something so awful.
What the? That woman's aiming for you.
Huh?
She looks like she's ready to hunt you down.
Yeah. Well, she's got reason enough to want to. Yeah.
What's going on? She seems like she's serious.
This is like the Diana and Orion story, kind of, except I guess he's not going to get turned into a constellation. No time to explain now. Grabbing Wakaba, I jumped on the horse and we galloped off. I may have been the one in the wrong, but I'm not about to get myself killed over misunderstanding. I pushed the horse to increase the distance enough so I can take a breather. By the look of her, that woman was a hunter of the forest. I can't afford to be careless here. I'm likely to break some forest taboo with every step I take. Sheesh, it wasn't if I meant to look. Sorry for getting you mixed up in this, Wakaba. I like that we're getting the Kobold Town song.
Don't worry. I'm enjoying the experience of galloping along the road like this.
Is that so? I guess I'm no match for you. I actually really like this arrangement of it.
Oh, Mr. Nash, the path forks here. What should we do?
The road split off into two directions. Both would take us deeper into the forest, so there's no big difference between them, though the right path seems more well-trodden. Do more people use it? Which path should I take? Well, obviously we have to take the path less traveled by. Take the horse down the left-hand path. I want to avoid meeting anyone as much as possible. These are just crazy load times. Gradually, the forest grew silent. As the silence deepened, it took on an eerie quality. Wakaba was as cheerful as ever, though.
Ah! Mr. Nash! There, that one's a bear, isn't it?
Uh-oh. Wakaba pointed ahead of us as what was most definitely a bear, standing on its hind legs. It'll be okay. It doesn't seem to have noticed us yet, so we'll probably be able to make it past.
Huh? You mean I can't fight it?
Hold on. There's a person out there. I jumped off the horse and quietly approached them, ready to jump in to help at a moment's notice. The bear was an intimidating sight, but the man chattered away at the now silent bear as if nothing was amiss. It doesn't look like he's scared at all. What's he saying?
Mr. Nash.
Shh! Be quiet! When the time is right, we'll jump in and save him.
Mr. Nash, doesn't it seem like those two are talking to each other?
What kind of naive... oh no!
Roar! Roar!
Shit. We're too late.
Mr. Nash, wait!
I think I like the B paths in these games. They're so much goofier than the main paths.
Roar! Roar! I see, so you're doing well. That's good then. I hadn't heard from you in a while, so I was starting to worry. Roar. I hear ya. You've been busy too. But besides that, have you been? Isn't it about high time you found yourself a wife? Ah, that's ridiculous. So you're shy, huh?
See, I was right. They're talking. I'm gonna hurry up and talk to a bear soon, too. With my fists.
Yeah, okay. You do your best with that.
Will do.
What the heck is with this forest? Oh, we got a luck point for that. That wasn't in the flowchart. Is the world really such a small place as this? With these thoughts racing through my head, I thought we should hurry on. But before we could, another suspicious figure appeared before us. Gotta be... I don't know. Kinnison? Oh, no. A werewolf? Boy, it's the real bee crowd, eh? It's unusual to see them here in the South. He's still got his dreads.
What do you think Mr. Wolf is doing? It looks like he's staring at that bear and the fellow from earlier.
That's no wolf, Wakaba. It's a half man, half beast. See how he's still wearing clothes? I mean, how is this significantly different from a kobold, really?
I see. Oh, I get it. Mr. Wolf wants to be friends with the bear and that fellow.
Ugh, that is such awkward English. Is that how it is?
Anyway, let's get going. We wouldn't want to intrude.
Okay. I sure hope Mr. Wolf, the bear, and that guy can all become friends.
I guess that is what differentiates him from a kobold.
Leaving Wakaba's simple-mindedness aside, we got out of there as quickly as we could. Once more, the path forked. Wakaba insisted on the right-hand path, without any basis for a decision. What should we do? As before, the right path seemed to be the more well-used one.
Alright, we get another scene if we go to the right. Which obviously we want.
I directed the horse toward the path on the right side. I had a bad feeling about the road we were on. As we went deeper into the forest, the trees grew thicker and closer together. The distant calls of birds and the sound of the horse's hooves were the only noises that could be heard. Wakaba soon grew tired of the unchanging scenery and went unusually quiet.
Master, please wait for me.
What the? Did you fall asleep again, Wakaba?
Don't cook the middle of the fish, then stomach.
What kind of dream are you having? Huh? From the other direction walked a lone woman. Her clothes looked like they weren't from around here, but more than that, they didn't look particularly suited to travel.
Do you think she and Hortez are from the same place, actually? Because their outfits, now that I think about it, are kind of similar. I guess she has a slightly more, like, Egyptian look.
Pardon me.
Oh, or, what's her name in Suikoden 5? The other last star that I never get. It's something like Eresh. There we go.
Oh my, can I help you? Would you happen to know how far it is to Green Hill? Green Hill? I'm afraid I can't say I do.
You don't know?
Are you coming from the direction of Green Hill? No, I'm coming from Muse.
Muse?
We're also coming from Muse. How on earth could you be coming from the opposite direction as us, then? Oh my, how indeed, I wonder. Could you have made a mistake?
I don't think so.
That's strange. I thought... Well, take care when you travel. You wouldn't want to get lost, I have plans to visit a friend in Two Rivers, so I must be on my way. Wait! We did come from Muse. So if you're going to Two River, aren't you headed the wrong way? Oh, am I? Well then, please tell me, which way is Two River?
And it's as I said. So you've got it now then, right?
I see. Yes, I grasp the essentials. So I'll just be on my way.
Yeah, wait!
Is there something else?
Don't just go off into a completely different direction all of a sudden.
Oh, I see. I must have misunderstood. Well then,
Okay, she and Hortez must be related.
wait! You still have something to say.
Are you doing this on purpose?
Huh?
After making certain she was in fact heading in the direction of Two River, we parted ways. Did she have any hope of ever arriving in Two River? I offered a brief prayer to the gods that it wasn't already too late for her.
Oh, look at all these luck points we get out of this. Why aren't they in the flowchart?
Huh? Mr. Nash? What's the matter?
Oh, you're up? Nothing much. I just met a kindred soul of yours.
Huh?
Sheesh, there's no end to the forked roads on this mountain path.
Well,
Alright, okay, we want to continue along the right-hand path if we want another scene.
I have to be careful not to get lost. I continue along the path on the right side.
I suppose so, but it's not like it's hidden that you get the luck points, so I don't know why they wouldn't be in there. It's different if it's like popularity points and the other stuff that are hidden, you know?
We headed deeper into the forest of lush trees. Sometimes the cries of birds could just barely be heard, giving the place a lonely feel. At the rate we're going, we'll never make it out of this forest before nightfall. Wakaba, you don't mind camping out, right?
Nope. There's lots of delicious food in this forest, so camping's fun.
That's right. If I recall correctly, you've been secluding yourself in the mountains.
That's right. When you've been training hard and you have to sweat for it, everything tastes delicious.
That's nice.
Yep.
In between the bird song, another noise came apparent, mingled with the others. Are those explosions?
Mr. Nash, that person.
I look where Wakaba is pointing and see a man in the woods off to the side of the road making signs with his hands while casting a spell.
No way, not again.
What is he trying to do? Oh, something started shining.
As if on cue, a light began to shine in front of the man's clasped hands. Wait a minute. That's a rage rune.
Am I imagining things, or did he just turn towards us?
The man slowly drew apart his arms, holding his hands out in front of his chest. Between his hands, a ball of light began to shine. It seems he hadn't noticed us after all, and the ball of light continued to grow larger. Drop and cover, Wakaba! Grabbing Wakaba, I jump off the horse and immediately throw both of us flat to the ground, and pulling down the horse with us, I cover Wakaba and myself with my cloak. A blazing fireball filled the space where we'd been just moments before.
What did the egg say to the boiling water? I don't know. This sounds like a joke for H.O., though.
A terrible smell like that of burnt hair hung in the air. If not for my fireproof cloak, we'd have burned away too.
That's cute.
Earlier, we'd heard those sounds like explosions. Perhaps, or probably, it was these fireballs. A shockwave hit us from behind. I quickly check on Wakaba lying beneath me, but she appears to be anything but frightened, her eyes glittering with excitement. Silence enveloped the forest once more, and as I came out from under my cloak, I saw that the scenery of the forest had changed completely. They're really playing it up here. Hello, LSD and Raiders. Welcome, welcome. Let me give you the shout out here. How was the museum? The rest of the museum? Did you see Robin Williams? Ignore the slightly itchy pose we have here with Nash on top of Wakaba. Girly Wakaba. Just Ben Stiller? Oh, well, that's a disappointment then. The foliage had been so dense that sunlight had barely leaked through, but now the branches as well as entire trees had been blasted away, some broken through the middle, some torn up by the roots. I look for the man and see him still standing there, making symbols with his hands. The area around him is covered in ash. As he draws a circle on the ground, it vanishes, revealing the pitch-black earth underneath. Yeah, for sure. It's pretty. The PlayStation 1 emulator is very reliable and runs pretty well compared to the early days of PlayStation emulation. Mathers? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. How could they make this mistake? I mean, I know that, like, it's a homophone in Japanese, but, like, why wouldn't you go with his existing English name? Are these those kinds of annoying fan translators that are like, well, they messed up the names? And honestly, Mathers is not really a great name for a wizard. It reminds me of the Beaver. So it was a failure. Mazus, M-A-Z-U-S. So Mazus, which I guess could be Mathers, but honestly. According to my calculations, the entire area should have been a sea of flames, but perhaps I chanted too quickly. Or was the catalyst wrong? That might have been a factor as well.
Huh?
Okay. This time I'll aim for a target that's further away and use a longer chant. The man went back into the forest and disappeared from sight, all the while mumbling to himself. Oh, I guess that makes sense. So it is a real reference, but still, I think if the official release has something else, you should go with that, right? I helped Wakaba back up on the stunned horse and got my cloak back in order. Oh god, I wonder if they'll make that change in the new version of Suikoden 2. I can't imagine they would. But you never know.
What was all that just now?
I'm not really sure, but it seems like he made a mistake. I'd rather not think too much about it. But weren't you scared, Wakaba?
Nope. But if we had to face that golden wolf instead, that would have been a different story.
Yeah, the Star Dragon sword is unfortunate. I get why they did it, but, like, it's one of those things where it's so iconic that it's, like, it's sad. It's like some of the fixes that they made in the Chrono Trigger script that just drain the color out of it, you know?
Golden Wolf?
Yeah, I only saw it once in the forest, but it was a great big thing, and it seemed more than a little sinister. So even though I only saw it from a distance, it still scared me.
That's surprising. I never would have thought you could get scared, Wakaba.
Yeah, it surprised me too.
From behind us, the sound of an explosion once more echoed through the forest, but I tried not to listen to it. Before long, the sounds, explosions, and tremors died away, and we were faced with the now familiar branching pathways. Well?
Okay, so theoretically this doesn't make any difference, but let's take the path on the left side.
I'm getting an ominous feeling in the pit of my stomach and walk the horse down the path on the left instead. After being jolted around on horseback for a little while, the path opened up into a small clearing where it looks like two people were enjoying a game of Chinchirorin. Of all the things one could do on a mountain. Could they be bandits, perhaps? I'll see if I can find out. Now, what are they up to? Oops, sorry about that. From here on out, it's an important match. You think you can keep quiet long enough? Hey, Shiloh. You don't seriously think you can win, do you? You're nothing but a greenhorn. I'll show you the skill that comes from years of experience.
That's great. I love Gaspar coming back.
Greenhorn? You say that, but you're just showing your old age. This'll be your funeral dirge. Enough chatter. You snot-nosed brat. What did you call me? Throw the dice already, you useless old fart. Or are you scared to finish this? Like hell I am.
That's true, but where does he get all that money if he's so bad at it?
One roll will decide it. I've cleansed my body for the sake of this day. Like hell I'll lose to a greenhorn like you. What was that? Now, victory or defeat? Go! Go. And the long debate will be settled here today in this place. Here I come, Gaspar. I'll win this, Shiloh.
Oh, it could be, yeah.
It's a piss.
What? The man called Gaspar had thrown the dice, and all three flew out of the bowl and landed on the ground. That is pretty typical.
Ah! Why? 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 Is that it, Shiloh, you bastard? You rigged it. What are you saying? You're going senile, Gaspar.
Pardon the intrusion. I'll just be on my way. Their shouts continued to echo behind us. As much as I could, I urged the horse to go faster.
Huh. Mr. Nash, look over there.
Huh?
Mr. Wolf is watching again, huh? He must want to play Chinchirorin now. But he shouldn't watch from all the way over there. His voice will never reach them.
I suppose. Expecting to hear some sort of fight break out any moment because of that werewolf, I hurried us on our way. As we followed the mountain path, we heard the shouts of many men coming from a conspicuous-looking clearing between the trees.
Mr. Nash, it sounds like there's a whole bunch of people up ahead. I wonder what's going on.
It sounds like they're training. Friends of yours, Wakaba?
They're not. I'm the only student in my dojo, remember? But hearing them carry on like that sort of fills me with excitement.
I should at least find out what's going on. There's a slight, very slight chance that they could be my Highland pursuers. We crept closer to the sound of the voices. From between the trees, we looked upon the source.
No, no! You're doing it all wrong! There's no way that could lift 6 people. Yes, sir.
Elevator barbarians?
Keep the speed constant. Yes, sir. It's essential that you stop perfectly at each floor. Yes, sir.
I always wondered. Yeah, all elevators that weren't built by the Sindar run on barbarian power.
Without your strength, the greatest invention of the century, the elevator, can't be completed.
Independently invented several times this century, but whatever.
Go for it. Persevere. Yes, sir. Heave ho!
Wakaba.
Yes?
It's unfortunate, but it looks like you'll have to give up on joining them. It appears to be a men-only thing. This is Gordius Village.
Huh? Is that so? How unfortunate.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Very much so.
Do they appear anywhere else? I don't think so. It's just in this, right? As the sun began to set, the twilight of dusk covered the forest. Wakaba and I decided to set up camp. Yeah. We collected branches for a fire and gazed up at the night sky while wolfing down some roasted hare. It's been a long time since I saw the sky so full of stars. Many, many more than 108.
Mr. Nash, I can hear voices.
I stop Wakaba from saying any more and concentrate my senses. I can hear voices conversing, but I can't make out what they're saying.
Oh! Mr. Nash?
Shh! It could be the people who are after me. Let me go check and see. Oh, they're in Shizu's investigation? That's very funny.
After you?
It's nothing. In any case, you wait here.
Please wait. I can't let you have all the fun. No, I mean, I can't allow you to place yourself in danger.
I understand. Let's go together.
Okay.
God, she looks too much like Ryo. It's distracting. Muffling the sound of our breathing, Wakaba and I crept closer to the source of the voices. The cloud shifted, bathing the area in blue moonlight. And there we saw before us 2 people, a man and a woman by the look of it. Oh no, not Tengar and Hicks. Sitting on a sizable tree stump.
Okay, say ah, Hicks. Ah. I made it myself. It's a special sandwich.
Oh, that's a terrible voice for her.
Open wide.
Knock it off, Tengar. This is embarrassing.
Why so shy? Oh,
She needs to be more irritating.
are you saying you don't want to eat the sandwich I made?
No, that's not it at all. I'll eat it. I'll eat it, but, well, just let me eat it by myself.
Geez, Hicks. It's not like anybody's watching. I don't know what you've got to be so embarrassed about.
The armadillo that we didn't encounter earlier because we had to save our luck points.
Oh,
Whoa. Hey, keep your voice down.
but those two are... What? Who's there?
Crap. Run, Wakaba.
Mr. Nash, it seems you've got rather bad luck.
You're just imagining things.
We returned to the campsite, immediately doused the fire, and waited, holding our breaths. It seems they didn't come after us. Just to make sure, I returned to have a look, but the two of them were already gone. Looks like they left, heading in the opposite direction.
All right, Tenkai. See you later.
Oh. Well, that was a disaster.
Still, that was kind of fun.
What the hell it was?
Oh,
Huh?
Uh-oh. Looks like Ida's caught up to us again.
Whoa. They still haven't given up, huh? An arrow. Oh, it couldn't be her.
Mr. Nash, I got the horse ready.
Huh? You did? Oh, you're awfully well prepared.
Yep. I'm starting to get used to this.
I'm not.
Is this the professional spy?
And so the pattern was repeated. Whenever we stopped to rest, we were driven away until dawn finally broke. I'm exhausted, but we only need to ride a little further along the mountain road until we reach the edge of the forest. Wakaba's as energetic as always, so the horse is just tiredly trotting along. From now on, surely everything will be alright. At least I hope so.
That would be nice, but I'm looking forward to whatever else happens too.
Well, we should finally be out of this forest within half a day or so.
And that'll be the end of that, right?
Yeah. Huh? That?
Yeah. It's that woman who was shooting at you earlier, Mr. Nash.
Very slowly, I turned my head to look over my shoulder, and there she was, expression stern, bow drawn, and arrow notched. What should I do? I don't think I can escape as things are. As a hunter, she's bound to know how to get to the exit before us. So that's not an option. I steel my resolve, step towards her, doing my best to smile, and attempt to start a conversation. I apologize for the incident in the spring. It was entirely my fault.
You're sorry. Don't screw with me. You think I can forgive you just like that?
No, certainly not. And it was all my fault, but nevertheless, I do feel that shooting arrows at us may be a little much.
I'm amazed. You'd stoop this low? I don't know how it works in the city, but this is the forest, and the forest has its own laws. What you've done is considered a serious crime in the forest.
Well, it certainly was a crime, but again, protesting now would only make her even more angry. I need to calm her down. Calm her down and persuade her. I'm sorry. It was my fault. Please forgive me. Is there anything I can do to convince you to spare my life?
Then return what you stole from me right now. You took my precious...
Hold on just a second. What is there to return? The only thing I did was take a peek. I mean, I wasn't peeking, but I didn't...
What's wrong, Mr. Nash? You're mumbling. Huh? Mr. Nash, you didn't.
Wait! It's all a misunderstanding. It seems that the people of this forest call it stealing, but all I did, well, not that I did anything, but all that happened was...
You still have no intention of returning it then?
Wait! It was wrong of me to peek on you while you were bathing. But even if you tell me to return it...
Bathing? What are you talking about?
Huh? I met you at the spring, didn't I?
I don't know why you insist on playing dumb, but I won't stand for this any longer. Hurry up and return my favorite horse.
Horse?
You stole that horse from me while I was bathing.
While you were bathing? I stole... Oh. I'd been tricked. That fellow Hoy, or whatever his name was. While this woman was bathing, he'd stolen her horse and then sold it to me. Oh boy. I managed to soothe the flames of anger of this forest girl, Ida, by apologizing and explaining the situation. Once I'd returned her horse, things were finally settled.
I apologize as well. I was too hot-headed. Words aren't enough to express how sorry I am. Forgive me. Don't worry about it. Thanks to you, I learned some discipline.
What the hell is wrong with this place?
I'll take my leave. In place of an apology, I'll pray that you two have a safe journey.
We appreciate it.
How kind of her to wish us a safe journey like that. She's a good person, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. Huh? Pray, huh? Just how many times have I prayed already? As I watch Ida fade into the distance, I mull things over. Was she really not mad about the incident at the spring? Well, maybe that's how people live in the forest are. Loading screen. There we go. At last, we're out of the forest. If I head west along the highway for half a day, I'll reach Greenhill. Just to make sure, I scan the forest, but I don't see any sign of Highland soldiers, and an ambush doesn't seem likely.
Finally, we've made it out of the forest.
Yeah, we really are, finally. Jeez, that sure was one strange forest.
So you're off to Greenhill, right, Mr. Nash? Since I'm heading to Tinto, I guess this is where we part ways.
So saying, Wakaba pointed south towards Tinto and turned to look at the highway that would take her there. That's right, you were going to Tinto.
Yep. Well, it was fun.
I'll see you around. Take care, you hear?
Okay. You have a good journey too, Mr. Nash.
Wakaba turned and looked back several times, waving each time as she walked towards Tinto. Well, I better go too. Arranging my baggage, I continued along the road to Greenhill. Before long, though, I heard the sound of a horse's hooves on the road behind me. Oh no, have they caught up to us? Hey! You there, traveler! How about it? This horse, she's a fine specimen, no? How's 1,000 potch sound? Huh? Say, brother, have we met before?
Nope.
Huh, must be my imagination. So, what do you say? 1,000 potch? 1,000 potch too high for you? All right then, 700. 700 potch and she's yours. Well, she's caught up with me already. Too bad. I can't wait around any longer. Bye, brother.
Having said his goodbyes, he tried to climb in the saddle, but an arrow whizzed by and struck him right in the butt as he ran off, screaming in pain. Tying the abandoned horse's reins to a nearby tree, I slowly sank down and stared up at the blue sky.
You! Twice now you've stolen my horse.
What are you talking about? Whoa! That's dangerous.
This time you shall be punished in accordance with the law of the forest.
Just who do you think I am? Why, they call me the Great...
Oh, he looks so off model there. My. Ada. Looking up, I saw a cloud floating by, being carried wherever the wind took it. Just like my future. All right. Well, that was really fun. I'm so glad we took this path this time. And we got a bunch of luck points, so we don't have to worry about not being able to get the good ending. In fact, we can get Georg if we want to. But let's see. How many points did we end up with, actually? Last episode, War's End and Beginning. Oh, that backwards apostrophe. It's an open quote. I stirred from my sleep to find myself in a clean bed. The sunshine felt great. After enjoying the pleasant sensation of sunshine on my face for a little while, I sat up and looked around. The room was simple but functional. I heard someone moving around downstairs. Gee, I wonder who it could be with this song playing. Where was I? I set my feet on the floor. A bandage had been carefully wrapped around my right foot. Gingerly, I tried moving my body. The pain in my joints let me know how long I'd slept. I shifted my hip downward again and started massaging my ankle. I needed to work my way towards being able to use my muscles again. At least now I knew what condition I was in. Yeah, it's kind of funny, that whole sequence in the forest, he doesn't really ever talk about his injuries. Whereas, if I remember correctly, in the A path, it really is a big factor.
Oh, so you've come too, have you? Good.
Oh, never mind. It's just the maid. My arm massaging interrupted, I turned to find a young woman looking pleasantly surprised. Thank you for taking care of me. Is this your work?
Well, yes, but only because Lady Teresa ordered me to. I really am glad, though. If you died, I'd be in big trouble. It really is a miracle you survived, though. One of the students happened to find you nearly dead in the forest behind the school. You really ought to thank them.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yes, don't forget to pay for your lodgings. It's been 3 days, after all.
It makes it sound like the giraffes have them on top of their necks.
It's a small price to pay for your life, no?
Okay. I guess it's better than stealing my wallet and leaving me there alone.
Well then, if you're ready, come on downstairs. We'll give you 3 days' worth of breakfast.
Yeah, the actual Suikogaiden category has 14 followers, So I figured this was the smarter place to do it, aside from retro. But if anybody's going to be interested in this game, it's people who are interested in Suikoden 2. Could I have hard over eggs and crispy bacon, please?
Eggs should be fine, but I'm not sure we have any bacon left. Can I get you anything else?
How about your name? Yeah, 2 weeks.
I'm Yuri. Well then, see you downstairs.
Wow, Yuri's looking a lot different than he does in Shadow Hearts. As she said those words, the young lady left the room. So this was the second floor of the inn I'd been taken to after being snatched from the brink of death. And that girl, Yuri. I hate to say it, but she hadn't saved me out of the kindness of her heart. Well, that's enough information gathering. She'd said Teresa, and Teresa is the name of the mayor of Green Hill's daughter. In any case, it seemed like I was getting closer to my destination. After massaging my body a while longer, I figured I was in good enough condition to walk around town. Gathering some light equipment, I went downstairs to the first floor.
Oh, so you finally came down. I thought you'd be down sooner, so your breakfast has cooled down a bit. What's the matter? Lost your appetite?
No, not at all. What to choose? I guess I'll start with this.
You sure are a strange one. Well, I guess you did almost die not too long ago.
Breakfast wasn't anything like 3 days' worth. Glancing over the tables, however, I could see their situations were much the same. Nothing but bread, weak soup, and egg-based dishes. I don't know. I like the walking around in Suikoden 3. That's the big part of it, really. I know this is not a popular opinion. I mean, you don't have to do a lot of it, but it's only really necessary if you really care about doing things before you get fast travel. These were released in between Suikoden 2 and Suikoden 3, so like 99-ish. Hello, Mr. Awesome. Yeah, welcome. So basically, the first of the 2 Suikogaidens tells you the story behind the scenes in Suikoden 2, and then the second one is actually a bridge between Suikoden 2 and Suikoden 3. Whoa! Merry Christmas! Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Merry Christmas.
So what brings you to Suikoden 2 land? I'll let these alerts play out.
Domo arigato.
Merry Christmas.
I think that's all 5. Yeah. Oh, nope.
Christmas.
All right. Now I think it's safe. Yeah, thanks so much, Mr. Awesome. I really appreciate that. And I'm sure many of the people who got subs will appreciate it too, although none of them, I think, are in the chat right now. Well, that's great. We're here. We do Suikoden every Sunday at this time. This is our 3rd time making our way through the series. And we're going to be finishing the Gaidens just when the remasters of 1 and 2 come out, so we're going to play those again before we move on to Suikoden 3. It is a great game and a great series, and that's why I enjoy playing it every Sunday. It's the highlight of my week, more or less. Well, thanks for the follow. Yep, we're here every week, 11 o'clock Eastern Time with Suikoden, and then I usually have another game that I'm playing on Thursdays. So, right now that's Shadow Hearts, and we'll see if I continue with the Shadow Hearts series or not when I finish that. All right, so back to Nash here in Green Hill. So yeah, these are the games that introduce Nash before he appears in Suikoden 3. And in the Japanese version, you could actually use your data from the Suikogaidens in Suikoden 3, and it would give you some bonuses, I think, for Nash, and I think maybe some dialogue changes, but I don't remember exactly what they were.
Before I snuck into the city-states, our intelligence had reported that for years Green Hill's harvests had been poor. This much we'd known, but the situation was even worse than I'd anticipated.
Well, did that fill you up?
As she drew closer, Yuri lowered her voice.
Since it'd been 3 days, we gave you a little extra. But don't tell the other guests.
A famine, huh? I'd heard you'd had bad harvests, but...
Yes, well, there's also that to consider, Mr.
It's Nash.
Nash. All right, then. Please sign the guest register later. So what were we talking about?
The famine.
Oh, yes, that's right. There've been poor harvests, and then there was that battle between Muse City and Highland, right? We shipped a large amount of food off to Muse to help out in any way we could. As Green Hill only has a volunteer militia, no real army of its own. That was Lady Teresa's decision, but then Muse fell so quickly.
Teresa? You mean the mayor's daughter, Teresa?
Yes, that's her. Mayor Alec is sick and bedridden, so right now Teresa's our acting mayor.
Like, because he's sick during the events in 2 and what's going on now, like, you would think that, like, it would be somehow important that he gets left behind in Green Hill, but nobody ever seems to really mention him or care about it. It's a little odd. Like, you'd think the Highlanders would try to use him as a puppet somehow, even though, obviously, Teresa was the one everybody believed in.
So right now Teresa's our acting mayor. You should thank her, too. Lady Teresa was the one who brought you to this inn and paid a small deposit in advance for your stay here.
Nash is quite the gap filler, if he does say so himself.
If she hadn't paid on my behalf for the stay, what would have happened to me?
Who knows what would have happened?
Oh dear, a hype chest. What's inside? A chill girl emote. Choo choo choo. Well, it's certainly not out of character for Nash.
Leaving me with that mystery, Yuri left to take another guest's order. As I enjoyed my post-meal coffee, I considered my next move. I'd already sent off the report about the Beast Rune, but all clues regarding my original objective, finding the True Rune, had dried up. I'm overdue to report in, but with nothing to show for my investigation, there's little point in returning for the time being. I'm now wanted by Highland at the very least. If I want to ensure my safety, the best thing to do would be to enter Grassland via the Matilda Knightum and return to the Southern Frontier Defense Force's headquarters in Caleria. However, I have a growing inclination to remain and see what happens in the war between Highland Kingdom and the city-states. After finishing my weak coffee, I went to visit Teresa Wisemail, who was both my savior and Green Hill's acting mayor, in order to ask her a few questions.
Load times, long loading times.
Upon getting my clothes in order, signing the inn's register, paying my 3 days' rent, and finally freeing myself from Yuri, I arrived at the entrance to the New Leaf Academy, aiming to find Teresa.
So does the mayor like work in the school? Like there doesn't seem to be another public building in Greenhill. Since the independent town of Greenhill was born from a simple college town, I'd learned that the mayor traditionally also serves as the dean of its New Leaf Academy. Well, there you go. Passing through the gates, I began my search for the reception desk as two students approached from up ahead. Uh-oh.
You have to admit, that quiet guy is just perfect. Really? I'm not so sure. He's just so dreamy and gives off this feeling. He's like a prince from a far-off land or something.
The far-off land of the warrior village.
Come on, you always say stuff like that.
Excuse me, but could one of you tell me where the reception desk is?
No, he's different from the rest. I packed a lunch and gave it to him. I wonder if he's eaten it or not.
The reception desk?
Oh, that's right. I need to go and get the box back from him.
Could you?
What do you want? Why do you have to be so loud?
Sorry.
Huh?
Sorry, I'm looking for the reception desk.
Oh, the reception desk? It's over.
Oh god, Nina just loves older men.
Hey, hang on. You're not from around here, are you? The reception desk? Leave it to me. This way. Over here. Come on, hurry up.
Wait a sec. How many underage girls are gonna hit on Nash in this game? I guess Wakaba didn't hit on him, she just got too cozy.
That didn't take long. Looks like Nina's at it again.
I actually really like that they show it's not just Flick. Because she seems to be so insistent that Flick is the only one for her, but it turns out anybody over 30 will do.
Uh-huh, so your name is Mr. Nash. Hey, is this blonde hair the real thing? It's not a wig, is it?
Why not give it a tug and see? Oh, come on, Nash.
Wow, really? Can I?
Sure, give me a tug. Go! Knock it off, kid.
Please keep it down out there. Oh, Miss Nina. Not you again.
Oh, Miss Amelia. I'm sorry. Mr. Nash here has business with you.
Oh?
Oh, aren't you?
Well,
You're the one they found behind the school, right? Are you feeling better already?
well, I'm alive at any rate. I thought I should at least come here and thank Lady Teresa.
Can I speak with her? Yes, of course, but she's a busy woman. You'll have to make an appointment if that's okay. We'll send word to the inn you were taken to.
All right. Looks like I'll be troubling that inn for a little while longer.
When they brought you in, you were covered in mud, but you're pretty cute when you're cleaned up. Why don't we go out for dinner sometime?
Huh?
I found Mr. Nash first, you know. You're breaking the rules.
I always thought Amelia was a lesbian, but I guess it's just because that other woman has a crush on her.
Young lady.
Uh,
Oh, never mind. But now that you mention it, Lady Teresa is conducting negotiations in the Highland camp. She should be returning soon, so you might catch her at the city gates if you want to meet her.
Then I might be able to thank her there. It's worth a shot.
Mr. Nash, Wait for me. I can show you the way.
Oh joy. I actually sort of like Nina more now, after using her in our last playthrough of 2. For some reason, the schoolgirl Nina insisted on accompanying me to the front gate. If Teresa was negotiating with the Highland Army, it could only mean one thing. The city was on the brink of falling under their control. Whether I plan to escape or resume my search, it's going to take longer than I expected. Soldiers and townsfolk alike were gathered in front of the gate. All were looking outside, no doubt praying for Teresa's safe return. Suddenly, a murmur rippled through the crowd. The gate slowly opened and the crowd parted, forming a path between them. Several Highland troops marched through the crowd behind their commander. They were preceded by a young blonde woman, who must be Teresa. A warrior in foreign-looking clothes walked beside her. Once the group had reached the front gate, Teresa and the swordsman turned around. I made my way through the crowd as best I could to get a look at their faces.
Well then, please consider our offer. It's not a bad deal, I think.
The only thing you offered was unconditional surrender and the Green Hills supply the Highland Army until we're sucked dry. And you know how the people would suffer. Have you no heart whatsoever?
There's nothing we can do for the townspeople. However, we can guarantee the safety of the Wisemail family. Circumstances permitting, you may be even welcomed into Ranwy as a noble.
Roud indeed. Yeah, he's made several appearances so far this game.
The mayor of Greenhill will not be so easily bribed into disgracing herself. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Oh my, you speak with such authority. However, you face 15,000 elite troops of the 4th Highland Army. Greenhill's defenders only number 7,000, and I understand they're a militia of townspeople. I wonder how long they can hold out.
Sir Roud, perhaps you should return for today. Highland and Greenhill currently have a truce. But in a state of war, this would be Greenhill territory, and my sword would be against your throat in a heartbeat.
Huh. Are you trying to insult me? The truce for parley only lasts until dawn tomorrow. I suggest you consider your options carefully.
Lady Teresa.
I'm all right, Shin. Let's go back.
The entire crowd began to move at once. I tried to wriggle my way to the front somehow, but unfortunately I didn't get a chance. In front of the gate, the enemy commander was speaking to Teresa about something. What to do? Alright, so we have a couple of options here. I don't remember what we did last time, but either we can meet Jude and Georg, or we can meet both Khan and Stallion. Do you guys have a preference? I know what my preference is, but if anybody else has an opinion. Actually, let's do a little poll, why not? It'll take me a minute to set it up. Since we've got the ad was running now anyway. Let's see here. I don't know who's paying close enough attention to vote in the poll, but okay, poll. Create a new poll. Jude and Georg or Khan and Stallion. All right. We'll leave that for a minute. What is my preference? I love Georg because of Suikogaiden 5. But I do like Khan. I honestly can't remember what we did last time. I could have checked the playthrough, the video, but it doesn't matter too much. I feel like probably, actually, I don't know. I probably had enough luck points to do maybe all of them last time because we didn't do the jump off the cliff path before. So maybe it doesn't actually matter in terms of completion, but it does matter for what like we want to see, I suppose. All right, time is almost up in case anybody still wants to vote. And it looks like nobody's gonna vote. Oh, all right, we got one vote for Jude and Georg, so let's go. All right, so that means we can force our way through the crowd. And we get another companion point for doing that. I'm not quite sure how that washes out in the end because we missed out on most of the companion points by doing the B path.
I tried to somehow push my way to the front.
Hey, don't push! No!
Damn. At this rate, Teresa's going to... Ouch! Oh. Ouch. What a painful experience. In front of me was another man who had been pushed aside by the crowd. He looked like a laid-back guy. Are you okay? Oh, yeah. Looks like things are getting dangerous. This might turn into a battle after all.
That's not the right voice for him. What did I do for him before?
It's that way just about everywhere nowadays.
That's true. I haven't seen you around here before. Are you a traveler?
I'm thinking about it.
Well, in that case, you better hurry up and leave soon. The soldiers here in Green Hill are volunteer troops. They got no training and most barely know how to hold a sword.
With that, the man left. I wouldn't have been able to meet Teresa anyway, so there wasn't any reason to stay there. I decided to return to the inn.
That's all we get of Jude? Oh well.
Ugh. Somehow I made it through the crowd back to the inn. Wait, never mind. In any case, Teresa's incredibly popular among the townsfolk. It's obvious that she's no ordinary young woman. I sat at the bar waiting for my order of lemon tea. If the crowd has calmed down somewhat later on, I'll try to get a chance to talk to Teresa. Slowly, I close my eyes. Well, what should I do now? My orders are to find the true rune, but I haven't gotten even a scrap of information regarding it. Soon it'll be past the deadline for the investigation. I've sent a bunch of other information, so I do have an excuse. I think I might really not like all of this Special Forces work after all. I can't go back to Crystal Valley, of course. The only thing I can do is hide myself in the Southern Frontier Defense Force, the last refuge of scoundrels. It's been 3 years since I entered the Special Forces. I've traveled to many places. In the beginning, I thought it might not be so bad if I died. But I've realized that I don't feel that way anymore. If I can, I want to return to Crystal Valley. I want to go back and see them. In the second part of this game.
I have no idea who this is. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no, looks like we got a game crash. Well, That sucks. Oh wow, the emulator won't even reset. I'm gonna have to kill it. That's okay. Thankfully, we just saved at the start of the chapter, so it won't take very long to get back here. This is crazy. I can't even get it to close. All right. Well, hopefully that won't happen again. All right, so yeah, thankfully it won't take us too long to get back to where we were. Oops. Why is this the wrong window size now? There we go. Ah. I don't remember if there's a fast forward. I feel like there should be, but it may only exist in New Game Plus. That's very, very unfortunate. There's one slight annoyance here. Okay, that looks better. Darn it. Oh, that would help me out in general. Yeah, there's no fast forward, so I'm just gonna have to go through this quickly. I will save my state at the next choice, just in case. Luckily, visual novels are much faster when you're not reading all the text. Having the text reveal on fast will also be much better for me reading. I wonder why there isn't a fast forward. I feel like there is, but it only unlocks if you finish the game once. Because I could swear that I've used it. But maybe it's only in Volume 2. I mean, it seems like it's a standard feature of visual novels, especially since the late 90s. Alright, we got Nina and friend. Boy, that was an impressive crash. I don't think I've ever had Duck Station crash like that. Let's go meet Emilia. I was playing another visual novel recently, partly as homework for my show, because we were doing a Valentine's theme, and I thought playing a dating sim, an early dating sim, would be useful information for the show, but it didn't end up making it in. But it had the worst of both worlds, which is that it had a fast forward button, but it didn't have the automatically stop at new scenes feature. So if you wanted to replay and make different choices and things would be changed slightly, aside from right after the choice, you would like never see them, or you would have to like be really careful about when you stopped. It was kind of annoying. All right, Raud and Teresa. Offering to buy her off, basically. Alright, we're basically to the selection now. Alright, saving my state. We meet Jude. So I guess just as a matter of hygiene, I should save my state every time I have a choice. And this is when it crashed, right? When we returned to the inn. Oh no. Slowly he closed his eyes. Jude is the sculptor, that's right. Well, what should I do now? Soon we'll be past the deadline. Thinking about going back to Crystal Valley. Want to go back and see them. This is when we get his flashback. Do you mind if I sit here? Says. Ah, here we go. I opened my eyes, startled. I knew that voice. Do you mind if I sit here? Right in front of my eyes, sitting there was... You don't have to look so surprised. It's been a while, Nash Latchkey. Zaj, is it really you? Oh, is it the hair color? My hair and eyes, even my name. You all knew only the fake me, but feel free to use my old name. Why? You're... The man sitting here with this bold smile. Zaj, why are you here? I thought I killed you. That poison Schwartz is coated in. Zodiac Tower. If I hadn't gotten the antidote in time... Anyway, the Guild has a long, long history of assassinations and has accumulated a vast amount of knowledge toward that end. The results are a bit showy, so I'm not sure I like them. You're saying the wound you received wasn't fatal? Right. Back there, your loud way of doing things naturally created a bit of an uproar. It was naive and childish of you. Though the wound you gave me may have healed, I still remember my resentment towards you. The disgrace of defeat is not so easily forgotten. So, you want a rematch? That would be careless. 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . . 。 . 。 . . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . . 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。
. . . . . . 。 .
.
Uh-oh. Han shot first? Suddenly, Zaj was gripping a miniature gun in the palm of his hand. I may not quite be a knight-class gunner, but I doubt you can get away from the gunpoint of a squire-class gunner all the same. Won't know until I try. Grosser Fluss is trembling. There's no choice. If my opponent's a gunner, I need to depend on this thing again. Do you really think that will work? Zaj indicated my swords with a nod of his chin. Damn, are my nerves rusty too? This wasn't exactly the best time for memories to come flooding back. Zaj almost certainly had his gunner henchmen spread throughout the place posing as patrons. If I tried to do anything with my sword, this place would become a hornet's nest in an instant. Even if I managed to dodge them for a while, innocent people, including Yuri, would surely be injured. You understand, Nash? You certainly planned things out, but why have you gone so far? Don't you think this is a bit much? It would be simple to take your life. If it were up to me, I would take you in and entrust you to the guild's torture expert. Under the circumstances, you can't be forgiven. What do you mean? During your absence, an awful lot has transpired in Crystal Valley. So then, the Highland General's advance was your doing. I simply gave him a bit of advice. The results were a little different than what I expected. In any case, the fact that we can't act directly is somewhat irritating, but at least you will die. You'll disappear, missing in action, and no one will be any the wiser. Farewell, Nash. Wait! Yes? Why did you go out of your way just to say all that? It should be obvious. It's because I wanted you to know. I can kill you at any time. Even I have my pride. With that said, Zaj quietly left the inn. His gunner henchmen also warily stood up one by one and, eyes watchful, disappeared out the door. Afterwards, I was left on my own. Now alone, I wondered whether the encounter had been real. For a while, I was stunned. Zaj was still alive. Not only that, he was looking to kill me. That much was clear. Escaping from the siege would be no small feat. But what to do now?
Hey, it's that guy. Or hey, that's the guy.
Huh? Yes, that's right, but
It appears I'm being pursued yet again. I'm sick and tired of it all, but I'll just have to wait and see what happens. Several militia members came up to me.
Are you Nash? The Nash who came here from Muse?
Yeah, that's right. You don't have to ask twice. I heard you the first time.
Hey, it really is him. Hurry up, everyone.
What's the problem?
You're coming with us to go see Lady Teresa. Come on, stand up.
The man grabbed my arm roughly in an attempt to make me stand. Reversing the maneuver, I lightly twisted his arm upward.
Ah! Ow!
If we're going to see Teresa, I'd be more than happy to come along. I was planning to head over there myself, so there's no need to do anything crazy.
I got it. Please, just let go of my arm.
Sure thing.
Ah!
The man lost his balance and fell to the floor with a loud crash. Well, shall we go? You'll take me to where Teresa is, correct?
Yeah. Come with us.
The militia shoulders, Melissa shoulders. The militia soldiers surrounded me as we left the inn to go to see Teresa. Along the way, I inspected the militia's equipment. The armor they used was similar to that of the Muse troops, but here and there were signs of recent repair. They didn't have enough gear, and they looked like they didn't know the first thing about fighting. It seemed like they'd just fall apart if they had to fight much. They held a hodgepodge of mismatched weapons. Some had swords so long they might hit their comrades more than their enemies, and others had daggers not much bigger than knives. They probably hadn't had it done a formal drill ever. No doubt about it, they were a bunch of novices. The elite hand-picked troops of Highland wouldn't have any trouble with them.
All right, here it is. Get in there.
All right, I got it. Hold your horses. We'd come to the room I'd been to before on the school's campus. It looked like the dean's office. I opened the door to find Teresa, the foreign swordsman, and Amelia inside.
What is it? That man. He's the one who was dying earlier.
Yes, Lady Teresa. We just arrested a man named Nash. The Highland troops are searching for him. Hey, get in here.
Hey, I already told you that I understand. Don't grab me like that.
This man is Nash.
What are you saying? Who gave you those orders?
Well, we heard that one of Highland's terms was that we capture and hand over a vagabond named Nash who'd escaped from Muse.
It's impossible to keep rumors from spreading. We haven't decided on Highland's terms yet.
But for negotiating purposes, if we were to hand this guy over, it should buy us a little more time.
If he's wanted by Highland, he won't be long for this world if we hand him over. I don't have the arrogance to negotiate with a person's life. All of you, leave now.
But...
Stand down.
Understood.
As the militia reluctantly filed out, Teresa approached me.
I most humbly apologize for the behavior of my troops.
Actually, you know what? I think it's somehow easier to read with the slower message speed.
Are you in better health now?
Well, yes. In any case, I was thinking about coming to express my gratitude anyway. Thank you for saving me after I collapsed.
No thanks are necessary. It's only natural to save a wounded traveler. Lady Teresa? Yes, Amelia, I know. Please excuse me, Mr. Nash. We're in the middle of some planning.
For the war against Highland?
Yes, the armistice ends tomorrow morning and will probably turn into a full-blown battle. It's probably best for you to leave this town as quickly as possible.
Sounds like a bad situation.
But the Highland Army already has Greenhill surrounded. So even if you did run...
I thought over the situation a lot. I don't know what Zaj is planning, but he won't be able to kill me directly. Not if he's shooting for the missing in action ruse. Highland already has Greenhill under siege. Zaj is probably the one behind their demand for my arrest. It's obvious that Highland is harboring Zaj and his men. It's only a matter of time before Greenhill will be occupied by Highland. Someone like me, wanted by Highland, will be tracked down and executed. Well, if Greenhill falls into Highland hands, it seems pretty likely that Zaj and his guild henchmen will take advantage of the confusion to kill me. After all this, it looks like my fate in Greenhills might be the same, like a candle's flame flickering before a strong wind. There are two paths here. I can lend my strength to Greenhill and hope that they break Highland's siege with my help, or I can try to break out of the siege and flee on my own and take on both the Highland troops and the gunners. So, what to do?
So if we decide not to help, we get another scene where Shin begs us, and then if we don't do it again, we get a bad ending, which I've done before, so I'm not going to do it this stream, I don't think. I'm gonna immediately agree because it gives us a popularity point, which might affect the ending. I should have saved my state.
That's right. Even putting the Highland Army aside, Zaja's men will be keeping an eye out for me. Escape is pretty much impossible. Zaja's goal to the bitter end is to make it look like I bungled my mission and got killed by Highland troops. If I ran away now, I'd expect him to take advantage of it. So I decided to say that to Teresa's now bewildered face. Seems my fate is bound up with Greenhill's, so I'll lend you my strength. For my sake and for Greenhill's.
Mr. Nash, I appreciate your offer, but please rest and recover your health. Leave the fighting to us. We'll not let Greenhill fall.
If things proceed as they are, your head'll be on display at the city gates by tomorrow morning. Then the swordsman at Teresa's side, who'd been silent through all this, suddenly approached me. It seems he didn't appreciate my words.
Shin, stop that. Mr. Nash is only trying to...
My apologies. Shin silently slashes at me with his sword. I instantly blocked it with a dagger I quickly drew from my sleeve. He doesn't let any surprise show on his face, as if somehow he'd known that this would happen. I simply wanted to determine your skill. I apologize for my rudeness. So, did I pass your test? Between that technique and the way you move, it's clear that you have military experience. Here in Greenhill, there are nearly none with such experience. If you would lend us your strength, we would be truly grateful.
It's almost the same dialogue, too, if you refuse, so...
You have nothing to do with Greenhill. We don't want to drag you into this.
Stop right there. You might say that, but since I can't run away, I think it's fair to say I have a stake in this. Even putting that aside, I'm still a wanted man in Highland.
That may be, but... Well, how about thinking about it this way, then? While Highland has Greenhill under siege, Nash can't escape. So until the siege is lifted, we'll borrow his strength. It's true that we have desperate need of anyone with experience. As long as Nash is okay with it.
Right. Well, now that that's decided, we better start mobilizing. We only have until tomorrow morning. We can't lose this fight, Miss Acting Mayor.
Yes.
So in case anybody wants the inside story on how Highland took over Greenhill, we're about to see it.
The citizens had gathered in the plaza in front of campus. Every single face had a look of anxiety that was impossible to hide. Clearly, the reason was the breakdown of negotiations. Crying voices were among the crowd as it stirred. It was turning into a pretty tragic atmosphere. It's undeniable that this is a group anticipating an upcoming battle. Suddenly, the entire crowd lifted their faces as one to look towards a single point. Teresa had arrived in front of them. Gradually, Teresa made her way to the center and began to speak in a clear voice.
Everyone, please listen to me. 2 weeks have passed since Highland troops first laid siege to Greenhill. Our supply situation is not yet desperate, but Muse has been lost and South Window is already in Highland's hands.
Welcome back, Tenkai. Yeah, things are getting pretty real.
We have sent several messengers to the Knights of Matilda, but perhaps they were captured along the way. Either way, the Knights haven't moved. As you all know, I went to negotiate with the Highland Army earlier. However, their terms for surrender require that Greenhill yield all its supplies to their army, and I find that too bitter a pill to swallow.
With that, Teresa stopped speaking. After briefly averting her eyes, she turned to the townsfolk once more with a determined look on her face.
I must ask you all a question. Would it be better to go down to the Highland camp and, while starving, aid in the destruction of the other cityscape members? Or do we fight here?
A wave of tension spread through the citizens. People were murmuring.
The right to decide what should happen to Greenhill lies with everyone. Whether to fight or surrender, it's up to you. I will, however, promise you this. Those who will pledge to protect Greenhill to the best of their ability, I will be your ally, and I will give my body and soul to protect you.
I was honestly pretty surprised that Teresa, who had seemed nothing more than a young noble, was able to give such an impressive speech. Greenhill's entire military strength was surpassed by a single Highland soldier, so the presence of Teresa could be a key to victory.
I believe this is when Joey pulls the trick. So that has to be after that, because Joey's in charge of the 4th Highland Army by now.
It seems as if the townspeople made up their minds without any argument at all. A swell of voices rose, calling for battle with the Highland Army. Naturally, I'd asked Amelia to plant a few people to steer things in the right direction, but it looks like that wasn't necessary. Now we'd cleared the first hurdle on the path to victory, I'd pointed out to Teresa. The first thing to do was unite the hearts of the townspeople. Without unity, any chance of victory would be nothing but a dream. The citizens had begun to take on a look and determination.
Yeah, I think that's right. So I think we're past that point now.
Teresa picked up on the change and began to speak once again.
I don't think we've ever heard about South Window being occupied at this point, have we?
If there's a consensus, Greenhill will not yield to Highland and will choose the path of battle. Is this all right?
The citizens responded to Teresa's words in an approving cheer.
Very well. Just as I made a promise to you, I also request a promise in return. Until this battle is over, I will have you all follow my orders as acting mayor of Greenhill. Men and women, young and old, must obey without question.
Isn't South Window occupied twice? Maybe I'm wrong. It's kind of hard to remember.
Men and women, young and old, must obey without question. All of Greenhill will face this restriction.
This is the second hurdle. A disorderly mob such as these people would have no chance against the Highland troops. The first thing to do is establish a commander whose orders would be universally obeyed. With the enthusiasm present in the crowd, Teresa's proposal was accepted with no complaints. So far, so good, but the toughest hurdle will be the last.
Very well. I will now give everyone my first order as acting mayor.
Once again, the citizens drew tense.
From this moment, I will give command of all the armed forces of the city of Greenhill to a qualified person I have selected.
Yet again, the crowd began to stir. During the distraction, I made my way to stand next to Teresa.
I appoint this man, Nash Latchkey, to that position.
Some random harmonian.
Hearing this pronouncement, the townspeople began to raise voices in question.
Who's that? He's that stranger who's staying at the inn. Why would you pick him?
Can we fight under the command of a stranger?
This isn't funny. There's no way I'm following him.
Once the voices had quieted down sufficiently, I opened my mouth to speak.
My name is Nash Latchkey. Teresa has hired me for 7 million potch. My family is related to the Silverbergs, famous for their strategic prowess. The dispute in the Queendom of Felena was quieted by my hands. My assistance is worth 1 million troops.
Beside me, Teresa's eyes were like dinner plates. Of course, these were all outright lies. In the besieged city of Greenhill, however, nobody could confirm or deny them. This was the only way I could think of to gain the trust of the citizens.
I mean, he does kind of look like her a little bit.
The militia especially seems to remain strongly doubtful. It looks like I'll need to put on a flashy performance.
So, are there any here who still want to oppose my appointment here?
6 self-proclaimed men of valor had already stepped up in opposition. It's a little harsh, but calling them that would be a lie. While they were confident enough in their skill, they were still novices and no true opponents of mine. Unarmed, I threw each of them to the ground.
Well then, it appears there aren't any more complaints.
As I said that, I glanced at the faces of the troops. The first thing was to let them know the level of difference in our skill. Though it was grudging, I could see acceptance on the soldiers' faces. Teresa began to speak once more.
Tomorrow, Highland will begin their attack. There isn't much time left, and our disadvantage is obvious. From now on, please follow Mr. Nash's orders and begin the preparations. We must not let Greenhill's pride be trampled on so easily.
Actually, I think Nash successfully repels Highland for a little bit, but then they come back and take the town over later. I think that's what happens.
The citizens' faces, though grave, took on a determined expression. Somehow we managed to clear the third hurdle. The townsfolk will begin preparations at my command. Without delay, I began giving orders to the townsfolk.
All right, I expect work to begin at once. First will be my orders to the militia forces.
I looked over the militia. There was a mixed sense of respect for my strength among them.
What'll it be? Do we attack from here?
Ignoring the voice, I began handing down orders.
Immediately take off your armor and place it together with your weapons here. Yeah, I think that's right. But I do feel like that happens at some point in this game. Like, you do see it.
Though suspicious of this unexpected order, the troops assembled their weapons and armor into a pile in front of me.
Good. Next up, if any of you have any experience in blacksmithing, please step forward.
I'm Jude, and I teach sculpture classes here.
Huh? Oh, you're the one from before.
Yes, we did meet before, didn't we? All that time, I wouldn't have thought you were a celebrated strategist worth 1 million men. I thought you were just trying to get a view of Lady Teresa's face, same as me. I see, so we'll start off with weapon and armor maintenance then.
No. First off are weapons. Melt down the weapons gathered here and forge the metal into spear points.
All of these into spear points?
Yes, all of them.
Understood. I'll begin right away. Hey now, wait a second. You're going to turn all these swords into spear points? Isn't that a waste?
It's a bigger waste to put them into the hands of a bunch of novices like you. Once you're all holding spears, I'll teach you how to use them. Anyway, here's your next order. Take all of the armor to the top of the south wall.
The top of the wall?
What in the world are you planning?
This guy doesn't look very trustworthy, does he? Once that's finished, I want all of you soldiers to make dummies. Get the resources you need from the forest behind the school. Emilia, you're in charge. Make them how I showed you before.
Yes, I understand. Leave it to me. All right, everyone, follow me. Delays will not be forgiven. Come on, grab that armor and follow me.
I like that Apple pulls the same trick in Suikoden 3, and I think that probably she learned it from Nash. Or at least, you know, read it in a book. About Nash's defense of Green Hill, maybe. I actually think that might be a scene that happens in Water Margin. The soldiers left campus with Emilia in the lead. For some reason, Emilia seemed awfully happy. Now it's going to make me nervous every time it stops. All right, next up, are there any rune masters among you?
I'm Jean, and I teach runes at the academy. May I be of use to you?
Certainly. One more person, a young man, waded through the masses to stand before me.
I'm Connell. I'm studying to be a phonologist, but at the moment I'm also studying runes.
I appreciate your help. Now then.
Well, we could assemble the pupils from my class to help out, I think. But how would we be helping, I wonder?
Yeah. Can you take all the runes and sealed orbs in Green Hill and turn them into talismans? That way more people will be able to use them than if we were to just leave them as runes.
That's true. Is that the only favor you wanted to ask?
Yes. Your clothes, they're a bit... Could you not stand,
Okay, we'll begin immediately. We don't have much time, right?
I have a lot of trouble doing it. A believable Jean voice. Jean, Connell, and the rest of the class left for the classrooms. They needed an appropriate space to work in. With them taken care of, I turned to face the remaining townspeople. Those remaining, draw water from the city wells and place it strategically around town. Once that's finished, tear down all the stone walls inside the town and carry the stones to the top of the east and west walls. To be in charge of this, I'll appoint...
Me! Me. I'll take care of it. Draw water and gather stones on top of the walls. I'll do it.
Sure. I'm counting on you. Everyone, please hurry. Okay, so yeah, this has to be after the Green Hill infiltration mission. Because she's met Flick. But don't they take Teresa out of town at the end of that? It can't be going on right now. Because we would have noticed this battle, I feel like. This is a little confusing. Sure, I'm counting on you. Everyone, please hurry. There's not much time left. But then, how does Nina know Flick? Because she mentions Flick. Unless she's talking about some other person. To just prove that she... falls for any man that she ever meets. Because she doesn't specifically say Flick. But who else would she be talking about, right? Everyone, please hurry. There's not much time left. Once your work is finished, return here and I'll give you the next set of orders. Well, it's when Nash interrupted them. She was talking to her friend about the man that she made a box lunch for, and how dreamy he is. Connell? Nah. Nina is not interested in anybody under 30 for sure. I mean, I guess it could just be anybody. It could just be any man. But it might just be a plot hole. I don't think it could be a translation problem. I mean, she's not specific about the person she's talking about, so I just assumed it was Flick. But I guess it could just be that she was talking about somebody else. But, like, she does make Flick a box lunch in Suikoden 2, and I feel like they would have intended it to be the reference. I don't know, it's very strange. I guess so. I guess so it's just some other man. Some other unnamed man that she has a crush on at the beginning. That must be it. So it's other strange man, then Nash, then Flick is the order of her crushes.
Once I'd finished, Teresa nodded in satisfaction. She stepped in front of the townspeople once more.
It would be funny if it were some other Suikoden character, but...
Everyone, let's fight! For victory! All right, everyone. First step, draw water. Barrels, buckets, cups, pots. Use whatever works.
Finally, all the townspeople scattered to perform their various tasks. Now that our major work was done, I was a bit relieved. Teresa, now calm, turned to me.
Mr. Nash, thank you very much. We couldn't have done this nearly so well without your help.
Well, it looks like my old man's training came in handy.
Never thought I'd ever need to use it back then, and I resented him for it.
My. Mr. Nash, do you think Green Hill can win?
Frankly, I've used all the knowledge and spirit I can muster. We can only pray to the gods now.
Do you believe in gods?
There was a time when I did.
Yep, after that crash, it's gonna freak me out every time we get a long loading screen.
Mr. Nash, what size should the points on the spears be?
Don't give them too lengthy a point. Does it look like they'll be done by the morning?
I think we'll just barely make it.
Mr. Nash, the dummies you asked for are finished. Should we line them up along the top of the walls now?
No, for now, please get some sleep. Let the soldiers rest up until you see the signal.
Understood.
It's the cooking battle theme.
Oh, this is where you were.
Oh, Nina wardrobe change.
Mr. Nash. We've carried over lots of stones. Is there anything else you want us to do? Anything I could do for you in particular?
All right, I'll leave this one to you. Go gather up some cloth, then put together some beds in one of the classrooms so we can gather the casualties there.
Okay. Excuse me. We weren't able to find many rooms, so I'm afraid we'll be coming up a bit short in the sealed orb department.
I see. I wonder if there's another way.
I'm certain there's some that are used by students for practice in the classrooms. Be sure to use the ornamental orbs as well. If you need more, ask Old Ned in the basement.
Old Ned?
Yes, ma'am.
I think I just accidentally gave Connell and Templeton the same voice, but that's okay. They have the same character design pretty much anyway.
Mr. Nash, we've prepared the oil you requested.
Okay, you guys go ahead and get some sleep.
But if everyone else is working...
We're all counting on you for the battle tomorrow morning. If you're exhausted before the fighting even begins, it could turn into a victory into defeat. That's why I'm asking you to sleep.
Understood.
I guess that must be who it is.
Nash, I've picked out all the militia members who have some experience using swords. But there's only about 30 in total. Is that okay? It'll have to do. We've had some red bandanas made. Please hand them out to those soldiers. All right. How much more can we manage to do before morning comes?
All right, time for battle music.
It's pretty quiet. Their gates are still shut, though. Our scouts should be reporting soon, but it looks like they're not planning to surrender. This way suits me better anyway. I can't wait to get my hands on the sweet spoils of war. All right, men. Greenhill apparently plans to defy us, so we'll move forward with the assault. Begin the preparations. Commander Roud, the scout's report has arrived. You forgot something.
Huh?
I said you forgot something. Think about what you just said.
Yeah. Yes, of course. Acting Corps Commander Roud. We spotted several soldiers atop Greenhill's walls. They appear to be concentrating their forces in the front.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I'm a little disappointed that you didn't have Lord in there. Anyway, we'll avoid the main gate in the south and instead attack from the east and west. Nobody falls behind.
The Highland Army will probably begin their attack soon. I'll only say this once, so please listen carefully. First, those of you with the red bandanas encamp at the east gate. Each of you take one of Jude's spears. Next, those of you with the green bandanas set up at the west gate. Same thing, don't forget to take a spear. I'll take command of the red group myself, and Shin will command the green group. Leave it to me. The task of these two groups is simple. Thrust downward with your spear at the Highland troops that are trying to climb up. Just like this. Simple, right? Don't worry about actually killing them. Just stab toward them and knock them away. Give it your undivided attention. Yes, sir. Next up, all citizens who are wearing yellow bandanas. You'll be following Teresa's instructions. Set up in the town. The Highland Army will be firing flaming arrows. Your task is to put out the fires they start. We can handle the walls, but we can't save the town from catching fire. Use the gathered water and devote yourself to firefighting.
Yes, sir.
Let's do our best, everyone.
All right, last order. The students who volunteered for the white bandanas split up. Prepare the talismans Jean and Connell assembled and stay on standby behind the east and west walls.
Yes. Yeah!
All right, that's the last of my orders. From here on, I only ask that you do your absolute best. After I gave my orders, Teresa took over. My fellow citizens, the Highland Kingdom has brought its army before us. We who have not the strength for fighting, who know not any means for fighting, and had forgotten any intention of fighting. Now the flame of hope in our hearts has been reignited. Through your help we have endured all-night work, and shortly intense fighting will begin. What the Highlanders wish to overcome and destroy is our pride,
the pride of the citizens of Greenhill. We can surely win in the battle ahead. That much I believe.
Yeah! Let's go! For Greenhill!
Let's hurry up. There's no time to waste.
So it's begun.
Yes.
Well then, I shall be off. Stay safe, milady.
Yes. And you as well.
I'm not the kind of person who can stay safe. And so the curtain was raised on the final act, the Battle of Greenhill. What had begun as a battle for my own life had quickly entangled me in a citywide struggle. Stopping to think about whether this was a good thing or a bad thing was pointless now. The gods of fate appear to prefer a strange assortment of irony at all times.
Okay, signal the east and west units. Commence the assault.
Yes, Your Excellency, Acting Corps Commander.
All right, here comes Highland.
They're coming! Don't forget, we're not killing them, just stabbing and pushing them away. Don't forget your orders. Focus on the enemy right in front of us. The Highland attack had finally begun. Just as expected, it was a two-pronged assault from the east and west. The dummies placed above the main gate had served their purpose.
Damn it! There's no end to them. Yeah!
The militia soldiers are doing well. As long as they focus on stabbing downward, the Highland soldiers won't even be able to show off their swordsmanship. All right, drop the stones now! One by one, we dropped the stones that the townspeople had gathered earlier.
Ah! Damn! There's no way we can advance like this.
Don't worry about the ones that make it up here. Let me take care of all of them. Just focus on pushing off the ones that are still climbing. Shin strode to and fro on the west gate, slaying the Highland troops that held parts of the wall one by one. The west gate should be okay for now.
Your Excellency, Acting Corps Commander Roud. East and especially west forces are facing heavy resistance from the enemy. Soldiers who made it to the top of the wall were cut down one by one by a swordsman waiting above. We can't get through.
Yep, looks like Greenhill has 3 gates and then the back way in from the forest.
Persistent, aren't they? Very well. Send in the magic users as reinforcements. We'll reduce the enemies on the walls to ashes.
Understood. The Highland troops that had been attacking the east gate suddenly began retreating. There was no way that they were giving up the attack, of course. I gave orders to the students on standby behind the eastern wall. Next will be the magic attack. Timing will be at your discretion. Return fire with your talismans.
I guess the assumption is that in case of emergency, the people in the school would come into the town. You don't really design a school for fortified defense.
Even before I'd finished giving the orders, explosions struck several places along the wall. They were followed by lightning strikes, and the militia soldiers were scattered. The Highland Army's magic attack had begun. Upon seeing the attack, the students began to use their talismans all at once. From earth spells for magic protection to water spells for recovery and wind spells for magic reflection.
Next up is a water rune talisman. Don't mix up your healing targets.
Oh god. They should have found a way to turn those against the Highland troops.
Under Connell's direction, the students coordinated the talisman magic.
Don't rush things. Concentrate and calm your hearts.
Jean gave the orders on the west gate. By coordinating her timing with Shin's movements, she was able to support him. I should be able to leave that side to them.
We really stopped their attacks, huh? I wonder if they've given up.
Indeed. Their attack seems to have died down, but they're still at it.
They're just stalling for time to keep us occupied.
They must be planning on bringing in the heavy magic users.
Connell, use the canopy defense talisman. You prepared one for each side, right? Hurry.
Yes.
What's wrong, Connell?
It's no good. I just can't handle the level of magic in this talisman. I'm sorry.
Damn. I suddenly noticed my heart pounding. This is my fault. Jean seems to have succeeded in expanding the canopy defense to cover the west gate, but there's not going to be enough time to run there. What should I do?
Alright, so this would be Khan, but we're not going to do Khan. We're going to save our points for Georg. So there's no choice, I'll have to do it myself.
I have no choice. I'm not sure if I can make it in time, but there aren't any other options. I jumped down from atop the wall, grabbed the talisman from Connell, and tried to activate it.
Uh-oh.
My first try was a failure. If I can't do it, we're as good as finished. One more try. Gotta focus my spirit. No good. It won't activate. I could feel a surge of magic rising from the other side of the gate. This side will be turned to ashes if I don't get myself together. I'm desperate now, but I can't focus.
I'll lend you a hand. Hurry. Focus. Don't think about anything else.
Whoa.
Somehow Jean had appeared behind me. She gently placed her hands on mine, lending me her strength.
Doesn't look like her hands are on your hands, eh?
Right then, a power from within me surged forth, yeah, I'm sure, and I focused my consciousness on the talisman, and there!
He finally managed to achieve a canopy in his pants.
In the next instant, a shockwave reverberated around us. Just as the canopy defense field expanded, the enemy's furious blow attack hit. We escaped complete annihilation, but the militia seems to have suffered heavy losses.
So if you fail all three of these things, then you get a bad ending.
Acting Corps Commander Rout. Our magicians have expended their magical powers and are withdrawing. They're completely worthless. I was hoping to take this place unscathed, but Since it's come to this, I'll turn Green Hill into a sea of fire. Deploy the Archer Squad. We'll fill the city with fire arrows. Understood.
Now that the Highlanders had finally decided to call off their magic attack, we had a spare moment to ferry the wounded into the Academy-turned-war hospital.
I guess the academy is inside the walls except for the gap in the walls that leads to the forest, which is kind of a weird security flaw. Or I guess maybe the back wall of the academy is flush with the city wall or something.
Hey, leave this to me. Come on, come on.
Nurse Nina, that's somebody's fetish.
It looks as though Nina has taken over the commanding role there.
It's not like I'd ordered her to or anything.
Mr. Nash, the Highland Army's coming again.
I see. So the second round is beginning. From here on out, it'll be a war of attrition.
Something about that kid bothers me. Can't imagine what it would be. Something about his dead-eyed stare.
The Highland assault resumed. In addition to the heavy assault via ladders, they began to fire their arrows into the city center. This is the most critical moment. Teresa, I'm counting on you.
Everyone, remain calm and fight the fires in your assigned areas. Attacks on the west side are the most severe. Please focus on putting out the fires. When arrows begin falling into the city, please withdraw alongside the walls.
Arrows are headed toward the university.
Leave the university campus to the students. Don't panic.
We don't have enough water. Wait, I'll go draw some more.
Out of the way! I'm using a wind magic talisman.
I wonder if there's any, like, drawing or map of Green Hill that would allow us a better idea of its geography. That's actually an official source. I don't know.
Teresa's group is also doing well. The enemy is firing their arrows in waves, but with water prepared and the students eagerly using wind magic to take care of the blazes, they're pulling it off.
Wouldn't wind magic make them worse? Yeah, they're making the fires take a nap.
I have my hands full with a wall to defend. The militia's weariness has reached its peak. Our defenses are being overcome more often, but each time between my swords and explosives, we manage to somehow endure. Just as I thought the attack from beyond the gate had ceased, the arrows begin to fall once again. Somehow the enemy had figured out what was going on in the city. They seemed to be aiming for the citizens firefighting inside.
How would they see that?
Most of the volleys were now centered on the main street of the city. As commander of her group, Teresa would be there herself.
So, if we pick this one, Stallion rushes in and saves her from getting hit by an arrow. But we're not going to do that.
If Teresa were struck now, this could turn into a rout. Come on, stay out of the way. So praying, I jumped down from the wall.
Those assigned to the inn won't be enough. Take half of the people assigned to the center. Lady Teresa, watch out! Huh? Oh!
I left the wall's defenses to Connell and the militia and ran to Teresa's side.
Teresa used to be a mayor until she took an arrow to the knee. God, I'm sorry.
Running to Teresa's side, I found her surrounded by a circle of townspeople. I waded my way through the crowd, ordering people to return to their firefighting. Are you all right?
Yes. My arm's been... But I'm still all right.
Teresa remained steadfast, but the citizens around us couldn't hide their unrest. As I thought, she was the anchor for their spirit.
I'm trying to think if there's some like in-universe way that they could get a bird's eye view of the city. I mean, we do know two characters who can fly. Well, one character who can fly on a broom, but I don't think she's anywhere near here.
She stood back up, which would do wonders for morale.
My fellow citizens, I'm all right. Please think only of protecting Greenhill now. This body's fate shall be one with the city's.
Immediately following her statement, Teresa collapsed for a second time. Yuri can handle Teresa's first aid. It'll be time to set the final plan into motion soon. Mr. Nash, is Milady safe? She's being given first aid. I'll be leaving soon in any case. Of course, that's why I returned. They were after my life from the start, but you don't need to. Should I instead let my swordsmanship get rusty? Very well. Shin and I sped on to execute the final plan. The hand-picked soldiers wearing red bandanas were waiting near the main gate. These soldiers, along with the townspeople defending the east and west walls, could only watch nervously as those in the center continued their work.
They finally come! Let us at them already! Let's show them what we can do!
Sorry you guys had to wait so long. It's your turn now. Give it all you've got. The only horses we have that are suitable for battle are these two on loan from Matilda. You and I are the only ones who could ride one anyway. Oh, this is Nash. You and I are the only ones who could ride one anyway. Two should be all we need. As I straddled the horse, I began speaking to the troops. We'll now attack Highland's main camp. Our comrades have done a fine job on our flanks. Most of our enemies are focused east and west. Their central force should be weak by now.
Huh, I see. So you're saying if we hit the center at once, then we can win this thing here and now?
That's right. Our objective is only to get the Highland troops to retreat. We can't possibly wipe them out with a force this size, but we can buy some more time to give the Knights of Matilda the time they need to get here. At this point, this is our only choice. All right, let's get moving. Our target is the enemy commander. Taking his head or disrupting their forces will be enough. When you see the signal, retreat inside the gate quickly. The 10 of you we chose earlier will be protecting the gates. That's the most important duty. We're counting on you.
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh. Shin and I, both on horseback, lined up with the 20 hand-picked soldiers in front of the gate. Victory or defeat would be decided soon. In one strike, we needed to make it to the enemy lines, reach our objective, and retreat back into the gates before the troops on the east and west sides return. If we fail here, I don't even want to think about that. Let's go! At the signal, the gates opened and we all rushed out together. Shin and I were in the vanguard, all heading in a straight line towards the enemy headquarters.
Can't you follow orders? Damn it, you're all useless. If this keeps up, I'll be the one who looks incompetent. Acting Corps Commander Roud, Greenhill has opened the main gate to the city. Really? They did it. All right, we'll hit them all at... that is, an enemy detachment is heading directly here. What? What did you say? What happened to the defense units? Didn't I tell you to leave an elite defense force in reserve? Yes, we should be all right. Our defenses should hold, if we divide them and send them to attack. I'm still a little nervous. Order the attack force to fall back some.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm starting to lose my voice.
Shin took the vanguard and I followed him like a shadow through the battlefield. We encountered a Highland infantry unit on our way. As I expected, having no hindrances between us and the enemy headquarters was too much to hope for. Make it quick if you can. We don't have the time for this. Leave it to me. I will show you one of my sword's secrets. The 8 Temples technique. Spider Slash. Shin's sword whirled in all directions, and the enemies surrounding us were knocked off their feet with a clatter, defeated. This man, and Seed and Kulgan the other day. To think that so many expert swordsmen are scattered in this area is terrifying.
I kind of wish I used Shin a little more. Oh well.
I held a makeshift firebomb in my right hand and brought out a talisman in my left and struck several Highland soldiers. I noticed an opening in the enemy formation and darted through. The militia following on foot managed to make it without slowing down. I'd asked Jude to repair the best armor as well as 2 sharpened swords for each of them. With that, we should be able to handle the Highlanders. After running a short while again, we came across more Highland troops. It's not looking good. There are far more soldiers here than I'd expected. I was starting to see fatigue in Shin's movements too. To come directly from the action at the gate with no rest may be too much even for him. As I was preparing my next firebomb and trying to think about how to get us out of this mess, shadowy figures suddenly made for our flank.
Okay, so if we pick this, we could see the bad ending. But it's a little long, and I think my voice is starting to give out. So I believe I did it last time. Those of you watching the video can go find the video of the last time we did this game and probably see it there. But we're just going to go on and do what we're doing.
Who's there? An ambush! Hidden Highland troops came out from the thicket on our flank and rushed into our ranks. Ah! Some of the faltering militia behind me were hit. Damn! I turned my horse toward the new soldiers and threw a bomb in their direction. Using the narrow sword in my right hand, I struck at the Highland soldiers, but my attack hit only air. That's strange. As I was trying to figure out what happened, the soldiers began their counterattack. Those movements, they weren't Highland troops at all. They had to be Zaja's gunners. Openly using guns here would be an action that wouldn't go unnoticed in Central Harmonia. That's why he wanted to get me in the middle of a battle. I caught the sword strike aimed at me and threw a knife with my left hand in return. It's no use. I can't fight them off with these weapons. While I was thinking this, once again I saw shadows strike from the thicket. The gunners that had been disguised as Highland soldiers were cast aside in a single strike. A man swinging a sword broke through like a tempest, felling most of the soldiers with one swift strike. At least he didn't seem to be our enemy. Who are you?
I'm here to help, good swordsman of Harmonia. I came to Greenhill to seek out a talented, famous young lady by the name of Teresa. I was hoping to obtain an audience, but then all these Highland soldiers got in the way. I've been waiting for a good opportunity to strike. In any case, who are these men? They're not Highland soldiers. Are they from the Howling Voice Guild?
How could you know?
I might not look it, but I've been to more than a few places, including Harmonia. I understand what's going on there. You're in a hurry, right? I'll help you out.
I appreciate it. What's your name?
Georg Prime. I have several others, but that's my name now.
Georg. Deathblow Georg? In Harmonia, the man is a legend.
I wish I could do his voice from 5, but it's not in my range.
Who'd have thought that I'd run into him here of all places? We followed Georg's lead, aiming once again for the enemy headquarters.
Hey! The attack force hasn't returned yet. Hurry it up! Get them moving faster!
Yes.
Ugh!
Well, looks like we managed to make it.
You guys!
We made our way through the final enemy unit, single-mindedly focused on breaking through. Finally, we had cut our way to the Highland Army headquarters. Prepare yourself.
Wait! I surrender! That's right.
What should we do, Sir Nash? Even if he surrendered, that doesn't mean we've defeated the Highland Army, but we might be able to use him as a hostage. Tie him up and let's return to Greenhill as quickly as we can. From the rear of the camp, a fresh unit of Highland soldiers arrived. The enemy has very few soldiers. Rescue Acting Corps Commander Roud and then retreat with the rest of the troops. Poor strategy cost us an easy victory. Begin regrouping our forces here. The new Highland unit approached without breaking order and encircled us, preparing to charge. Change of plans. Retreat! And hurry! Shin cut open a path for us once again, and as we saw Greenhill's gates, we set our horses running. As we entered, we noticed that there were traces of smoke in the town center, but it was surprisingly quiet. The militia who defended the walls to the last, the townspeople who'd put out the flames, the students who had tended to the wounded, all were exhausted, many having to lean against walls just to stand up, some sleeping on the ground and others merely resting in silence. There was no one reveling in victory, but there was the sense of satisfaction that comes from having fulfilled one's duty. So this is where you were, Sir Nash. Oh, Shen. How's Teresa doing? It seems it was not a grave wound. Teresa did go into shock, but the doctor says she'll recover soon.
That's Joey's strength, is being devious. He's got a real, in a way, he's really a kind of will to power and Nietzschean Superman, in a strange way. Or he admires the way that Luca Blight is that and wants to become it. It is a very Leon thing to do. Actually, I wonder if it is a Leon thing to do. I don't think it's violent enough for it to be a Leon thing. Leon's specialty is like, well, slaughtering entire towns of people and then blaming it on someone else. I feel like... Do we know when Leon actually joins Highland? I know he works with Joey toward the end of the game, but he might have been around before. Like, I feel like it might have been his advice for Luca to do the the Unicorn Brigade massacre, because it's very much like the Kaleka incident. It's a recurring theme in these games, that particular style of thing. That's true too. As we learned in the first game, he'll only join you if you have a level 4 castle.
I see. Sir Nash, we're indebted to you for lending us your strength. Oh, it was nothing. I'm not even sure how much help I was. Either way, we still can't rest easy now. The Highland Army hasn't given up yet. You're right. We won't be able to rest until reinforcements arrive. Exactly. Sir Nash, when will you be leaving? My wounds are still giving me some trouble. 2 or 3 days should be about right.
Well, timing is everything in war.
Nash. Mr. Nash. Maybe a bucket of water.
Huh? Wait! I'm up!
Oh, good morning. Feeling better after your little nap?
Is it morning already?
Morning. It's well into the afternoon.
Oh. What could it be? It's been a long time since I've been so tired. I'm even staying asleep when people come into the room.
Mr. Nash, you've pushed yourself too hard.
Oh, I've just been helping out a little. By the way,
Thank you, Klingshofer, for the follow. And welcome to the entourage.
Don't worry. We have both breakfast and lunch for you. Since Highland retreated, we even got some vegetables in. So I look forward to it, okay?
I appreciate it. As I was looking forward to the meal, I glanced over the rest of the patrons. Each face showed the relief of releasing a long-held tension. Highland hadn't left entirely, but the immediate threat had passed. Even the flavor of the coffee was different. Fresh beans, I'd wager.
What are you gonna do now, Mr. Nash? You're not leaving yet, are you?
Not yet. For now, I'm gonna go speak with Teresa. Something's bothering me.
What's the trouble? Is it Teresa's condition? Or could it be that schoolgirl that's been checking up on you in your sleep?
What the? Ugh. Well, I mean the general situation. We can't really rest until Matilda sends reinforcements, right?
I suppose. So you're thinking about that again. Sorry for bringing it up.
Right.
Hold on one second. I've got to refill my water, or I really am going to lose my voice.
All right. Hey, how's the battle situation? Teresa, Shin, Amelia, Jude, Jean, and several others had gathered in the dean's office.
Mr. Nash,
Teresa, is your injury doing better?
yes, but that's hardly what this is for.
What's happened now?
Well,
Our messenger to the Knights of Matilda has returned, but... It's terrible. It's like they're just going to watch us die.
Amelia.
Miss Amelia, try not to get so worked up.
But everyone's worked so hard to have it just end like this.
What in the world happened? The Knights of Matilda replied, and they said they would make no moves. What does that mean?
Well, we aren't hearing this firsthand, but apparently they're saying that there are no reports that the Highland Kingdom is invading Greenhill, and the Knights will not move carelessly. They're just saying we've been lying about all this, aren't they? After all we've been through, all this.
I see.
It's all right, Amelia. We'll show them we can defend Greenhill. We've learned a lot from Mr. Nash, so if Highland besieges us again...
Lady Teresa! Lady Teresa! Good news!
What in the world has happened?
Come to the main gate! Quickly! Hurry! A group of citizens had gathered at the gate. Beyond the gate, the forms of many people could be seen. They weren't Highland troops, though.
What's this about?
It's the Muse soldiers that were captured by Highland. It looks like they were suddenly freed and came here. It looks like their weapons and armor were returned to them as well. With them here, we can surely defend Greenhill. If they're releasing the prisoners of war, then that must mean they want peace with us. We're saved. Milady, this means... Teresa nodded once, then gave the order to the soldiers.
Please open the main gate. Let them enter.
Teresa, wait.
Mr. Nash.
This is a trap. Highland's plan is to destroy the city-state. There must be something behind this.
I know. I understand that Highland is not that generous an enemy. However, outside those gates are our comrades. Closing the gates to them would be the same as sentencing them to death.
At that time, I knew Teresa understood. This was a Highland scheme. However... But since the Knights won't move...
The Knightdom's inaction is even more of a reason to let these people in. Open the gates!
Teresa! The gate opened and the Muse soldiers entered the city with wide smiles on their faces. The townspeople welcomed the soldiers who had received actual military training. Now we have twice the number of soldiers! No way we're losing to those Highlanders now! Muse may have fallen some time ago, but we'll show you that we can protect Greenhill. Yeah! We don't need the Knights anymore. But it was only a matter of time before the unease I felt would become a bitter reality.
So I guess, so the scene where Solange is executed is the scene where Joey takes over. So Raud was running the 4th Brigade. So that cutscene has just happened after their failure to take Greenhill, I guess. In addition to Solange. failing to keep South Window. So those two things those two battles basically happen at the same time. Their first attempt at Green Hill and the Kitty Cat Army taking back South Window. I guess. This is the only way I can sort of piece this together timeline-wise.
Come on! How much longer are we gonna have to wait for our orders? Hey, shut the hell up. If you don't like it, leave. How'd you like it if we sent you back to Muse, huh? What? Damn you.
Now, everyone. If you're going to start a brawl, just get it over with. But do it outside.
Yeah. If only we'd taken out Tengar and Hicks in the woods.
1 week had already passed since the soldiers from Muse came to Greenhill. The initial delight quickly changed to regret. The Highland soldiers showed their faces again and encircled us from afar. It was an inescapable situation. The reason was obvious. Ever since all the Muse soldiers had come here, the already dwindling food and other supplies had been exhausted. The citizens were forcibly reduced to abject poverty. 1 more month of this and Greenhill would surely burn. I could tell the pot was about to bubble over at any moment. The citizens of Greenhill knew it was the Muse soldiers who were causing supplies to run out. On the other hand, they also thought that the Muse soldiers had been given weapons and armor so that they could take over the town. At this point, only a few quarrels and the like had broken out, but there was no way of telling exactly when this powder keg would explode. I decided to pass up on my chance to run away and stayed in Greenhill after all. I don't know what Zaja's next move will be, but a few more days of rest here, a wanderer like myself doesn't usually receive such a warm reception as I did in Greenhill. I guess people like me just aren't smart enough to know when to quit. Besides, I kind of like this place. However, even being here in this place doesn't mean I don't have my own reasons to fight.
Ah, he's here. Good morning.
You never run out of energy, do you?
Mr. Nash, you've been sitting here all this time, right? You need to get more exercise. Come on, what do you think? Let's go for a walk together.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess so. That'd be alright.
Huh? Really? Oh, okay, let's go. Hurry.
Ugh. Food was now being rationed. This was to distribute what food remained as impartially as possible, but there were still those who slipped through the system. 2 people had been caught already trying to sneak into the food storehouse. Both times it had been one of the soldiers from Muse. This had resulted in a lot of anger toward the soldiers among the citizens.
Oh, not again.
On the street corner, an argument had broken out between Muse soldiers and the citizens.
What are you mouthing off about? If it weren't for us, Greenhill had already been taken by those Highlanders. You're talking garbage. We managed to drive those Highland soldiers off without you guys. I didn't see you guys there.
You guys, act your age. Mayor Teresa's already ordered us to use the distribution system for our supplies.
Yeah.
Coming back from breaking up the argument, Nina had an unusually desolate look on her face.
It's awful. After we did so well for so long. And Lady Teresa was willing to sacrifice so much and accept the Muse soldiers into the city.
Yeah. Before we knew it, our feet had led us to the academy campus. A crowd had amassed in front of the campus. It looked like some soldiers had taken control of one of the food warehouses next to the academy. The bulk of the soldiers were from Muse, but I could see some Greenhill militia among them. I'd expected something like this, and what I'd been dreading had finally happened. My advice to Teresa had been to put only the most trusted soldiers in charge of distributing the food, but it seemed that hadn't been enough.
What in the world is going on here? All of you, leave here and go back to your posts immediately.
Our posts? Don't kid around. We can't even tell who the real enemy is around here. We know you lot have been keeping all the food for yourselves.
What nonsense are you talking about? That warehouse is for what remains of the townspeople's food. It isn't only for you.
Yeah, shut up. You're trying to sell us out to those Highlanders. We don't want that to happen. You all have a secret agreement with Highland. We know that much.
What do you mean?
We know we're just in the way. That's why you put us on outside duty. Whether it's in Highland or here, we're just taking up space. That's why, in the middle of the battle, you're planning to do away with us.
They're saying such ridiculous things. The Muse soldiers were stationed outside because they don't have experience in town fighting and to avoid conflicts with the townspeople. Who the hell is spreading these rumors?
If you don't stop this nonsense, I'll have to consider this an insurrection.
Hey, look at that. After all that, you call us rebels. We don't have to put up with this. See? We thought this far ahead.
With those words, the Muse soldiers entered the warehouse. Several children are in there. How despicable.
We feel kind of bad about this, but you'll just have to deal with it. Until we contact you, anyway.
Damn. What the hell are they planning? An hour passed after the stores were captured. All of the representatives of Greenhill were called to the dean's office, but each and every one was looking downcast.
We haven't made any progress so far. I'm worried about those kids, too.
Those cowards.
They have hostages, so we can't really do anything about it.
A rescue operation is what we need. But it's something we can only talk about. Geez, what are those guys planning?
Nina, what are you doing here?
Huh? Well, everyone's gathered here, and I thought my presence would be indispensable. As a representative of the students and all.
When were you elected representative?
Just a while ago. Mine was the only vote.
I just can't do her laugh.
When they say contact, what could they mean?
Whoa, Miss Jean. Were you here all this time?
Oh my, how impolite.
Pardon me.
It's all right.
Anyway, contact. That's really an odd word to use.
Lady Teresa, the rebelling soldiers are demanding that we bring you to talk to them, milady.
I understand. I'll go immediately.
Just like before, the outside of the storehouse was surrounded by Muse soldiers and they were encircled by even more citizens. As they saw Teresa, the townspeople opened a path for her.
What is it this time? If you've decided to surrender, please lay down your weapons and come out immediately.
Sorry, miss, but we haven't decided on that just yet. I got good news for you, though. It's okay to release the hostages.
What are the terms?
You're gonna take their place as our hostage.
This brought a clamor from the citizens. Of course. If she were taken hostage, who would be in charge of Greenhill? More importantly, what if the Highland Army decided to attack? Teresa's obviously conflicted. She has to know that if she were taken hostage, that would be the end of Greenhill's freedom. I make my way through the crowds and approach her.
I don't think it matters what our choice is, but I think we know Nash would tell her directly not to do it.
I made my way to Teresa's side. Don't do it, Teresa. If you're taken before our very eyes, that will be the end of Greenhill. This has got to be some sort of Highland plot.
I know that, but I'm already so worn out.
Milady, please stop putting yourself in harm's way.
Thank you, Shin. You know, I wanted to protect the townspeople, to protect the people of the city-state, but then this situation arose as a consequence. Somehow, I want to take this responsibility for my previous decisions on my own.
Milady,
It's all right. I'm only becoming a hostage.
but those guys... As if to cut straight through my words, Teresa stepped in front of the Muse soldiers.
I understand. We will accept your demands. Release your hostages immediately.
Teresa's words to the Muse soldiers caused a wave of unrest among the assembled citizens. All of them looked as if they were praying for Teresa's safety, but Teresa herself did not look back. Soon the children were released and emerged. Teresa walked up to them and gently put her hand on one shoulder.
Are you okay? I'm so sorry. Were you scared? It's all right. You can go back home now.
Yeah, but
What's wrong?
inside it's filled with bread, right? I'm not allowed to eat it. That's 'cause there's only a little left.
I'm sorry. I'm really, truly sorry. Go back to your mother. From tomorrow on, you'll surely be able to eat some bread.
Really? You mean it? Yay!
In place of the children, Teresa returned inside with the Muse soldiers. As if choosing that moment of his own volition, a messenger came running up.
It's an emergency. The Highland Army has begun to advance.
I see. So this had all been coordinated. The new Highland commander must be pretty sharp.
At this exact moment.
It's because it's this exact moment that they're advancing. When the Muse soldiers were released, they must have made some sort of promise to do this as collateral. Greenhill's food stores would be wasted on the soldiers that they took in. Greenhill would fall without a fight since the Knights of Matilda refused to send reinforcements. Teresa had been their only problem. As long as she was with them, the people of Greenhill would have hope. And if they still have hope, even if Greenhill were to fall, then they might rebel. This is how they thought they'd nip that possibility in the bud. was only a siege, Teresa might be able to hide and avoid being found. That's why. Damn. When did I become so powerless? The swordsmanship I learned as a temple guard, the techniques I acquired in the Howling Voice Guild, Grossa Flus on my back. All powerless. Teresa's voice echoed through the suddenly silent area. Open the gates. Greenhill doesn't have any strength left. Maybe I can still accomplish something for everyone by trading myself for bread. Teresa had given up. She was smiling a small, forlorn smile. Greenhill's gates opened with no resistance. I watched from a distance as the Highland troops entered in impressive formation. Awaiting them were the rebellious troops proudly holding the weary Teresa captive. No person can raise a hand to stop the cogs of history as they turn ever onward. All the citizens, feeling an overpowering helplessness, had gone completely silent. I no longer have a place amongst these streets. Returning to the inn, I got my things in order. Now that Greenhill had fallen, I didn't know how soon Zaj's assassins would strike. Ah, you're running away again. My heart skipped a beat as if it were held in a firm grip. I turned around to find Yuri in the doorway. Oh, it was Yuri.
Oh, you're running away again.
She was surprised by my threatening manner.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you.
Was that you just now?
Huh? What do you mean?
Must have misheard. Sorry. Did you need something?
Well,
Dun dun dun! After Yuri entered, I could see the forms of other people. Shin, Nina, Amelia, Jean, Jude, Connell, and many townspeople.
This would have been a good time for Yuri to have been exposed as a spy for Zaj. Oh well.
Why? Greenhill has surrendered. However, I want to recapture Lady Teresa.
Oh, you know what? I think she is.
If Teresa's safe, then a day will come when Greenhill's people will be able to regain the strength to resist.
yeah. For someone who worked so hard for all of us, it's the worst thing for her to have to suffer.
Truly. Truly. So,
It's settled. We have to rescue Miss Teresa.
I beg you, please lend us your strength. I closed my eyes briefly, and then I answered. I agree. No way I'm getting off this ship.
Really?
I'm sorry. No problem.
If we're caught, then we'll be sorry.
That's a pretty scary attitude. Well, everyone gather around. Here's the plan. これは計画です. All according to 計画. When's the Highland Commander gonna get here? I don't know. Instead of worrying about that, we really need to keep a watch on Teresa. Until we have that reward in our hands, we can't let her out of our sight. Yeah, I know.
Hey, out of the way! This is a pretty big box. You might get hurt.
What the hell are you doing? What's that huge box? Get over there.
Huge box? You've never seen a garment box before?
Garment box?
That's right. You guys are handing Teresa over to the Highlanders, right? If she only had the clothes on her back, it'd be a disgrace to the name of Greenhill. Hey, you get over here and help carry it. Alright, just go straight.
I guess there's no helping it. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Huh? Get over here and grab this side.
Like we said, now, be careful.
I can't believe they don't look in the box. Like, come on.
This thing's pretty big. Hey, I'm gonna take a look inside.
There we go.
Go right ahead. I think you might be disappointed, though.
What do you mean?
Thwack.
Sound rune. Object of my oath and contract. Medium of my technique. Let your power fill the earth and resound.
Connell had hidden himself someplace I couldn't see from where I was and used his rune. Suddenly, a dissonance echoed through the area. While most of the Muse soldiers were dazed, Shin and I leapt out of the garment box. Shin, you take care of Teresa. We were wearing earplugs, so I had to raise my voice to be heard. Shin gave a barely perceptible nod and ran to Teresa's side. I covered Shin, stopping the soldiers who were headed in his direction.
I know, that would be pretty cool, eh? What would it be like, I wonder? Yeah.
Shin.
Milady, please do not move. Shin's sword sliced through not only the soldiers surrounding Teresa, but also the rope that bound her.
Well, we know what they do in their off time.
Shin. Why would you do this?
To rescue you from this place.
I've already decided. For the future of Greenhill. So please don't do this. Hi, Skylar.
This life, which I received from the Wisemale family, is dedicated only to protecting you. We are in a hurry. Forgive me. Shin took Teresa in his arms. That taken care of, I put my hand in my pocket. Soon the area was filled with the confusion of a smokescreen and the light of a flash bomb.
Damn! Where'd they go? Don't let them run away! Find them, quickly! I saw a few shadows running for the academy. Everyone hurry. If this continues, our reward's gone.
See? I told you you'd be disappointed.
Over there! Don't let them escape!
Oh my, all of you. Where are you going all panicked like that?
Shut up, out of the way!
My, so rude. Although, from time to time that's nice. A big sweaty man like you. Hard to say that you're too good looking though.
Huh.
So I think canon, this is the first time in the series Jean participates in battle. Not a war battle.
Shin, Where are we going? There's a place where we can reach the forest behind the academy. There's a small hut hidden there. A hidden passage, you mean?
Well, if you figure out why you're awake, you can feel free to let us know. Or just enjoy the end of Suikogaiden Volume 1, which we're imminently arriving at.
Damn! Where'd they go? The second floor. They ran to the second floor. Everyone assemble here. They can't run now. Be careful. One of them is an incredible swordsman. Okay, everyone, let's fortify the area. All right, follow your orders.
What is this all about? Stand down. This is all terribly rude.
Really? Damn! We've been fooled. This was a sham.
Ugh, this is bad for my heart.
You think so? I thought it was thrilling. My heart was pounding. Oh, it felt so good.
Amelia's got something going on. She's got a little bit of a screw loose, I think.
Just a little farther to the hut. Oh, I'm relieved we got so far. Not a moment after I said that, I heard some indication that there were people following us and stopped walking.
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing serious. Could you both go on ahead? Maybe this is a good place for us to part ways. I'll leave Teresa to you.
Of course.
I guess that's true.
Part ways.
You have things that you must do, but I also have things that I must do. I've started to understand that. No, you've taught me that. Thank you, Teresa, and farewell.
But,
Go on, quickly.
Mr. Nash, be careful.
I pray for your safety.
Teresa and Shin disappeared into the forest. The pursuers in hiding clearly did not follow them. I understood their motive then.
You can come out now. Show yourself, Zaj.
Ah, you figured it out, Nash. That was quite the scene back there.
Holding back and watching something like that really isn't like you, Zaj.
You're right. In all that confusion, it would have been a simple thing for me to take your life.
So why didn't you do it? Are you suddenly feeling merciful?
I'd like to ask you just one question.
Don't be so self-important.
Then I'll get right to it. Nash, your orders were to obtain information regarding the true rune, correct? However, you lent Greenhill a hand. At one point, you could easily have run away, but you stayed. Why is that?
Who knows?
Answer me, Nash.
Even if I told you, you couldn't understand. A sentiment called compassion lives in my heart, you see?
I see. Just like that time. You're acting according to your feelings.
You're right, I am. And back in Harmonia, that would have shamed me, but I've left Crystal Valley behind me. My life there is over, and I don't regret a thing.
I knew when I did it that I wasn't making a mistake this time either. And now I'm even more certain. You never change, Nash. Nothing about you ever changes. You're always this way, so my threats aren't even worth it. Farewell, Nash. I very much look forward to the day that you return to Crystal Valley. Zaj departed with those words. I haven't changed at all? I repeated that question endlessly in my head, but could think of no response.
And that's it for Suikogaiden Volume 1. Good old Monster Manor, where Reen, not Schwarzer, met his untimely demise. I'm not sure I know why these are black and white, and if there's something that you can do to make them color. It does seem a little odd. So we will, of course, watch the credits and save a clear version of the game to bring forward to Suikogaiden Volume 2. But I guess in the meantime, we'll see what's going on. So I will be back on Thursday with more Shadow Hearts, which also feels like it's getting toward the end, but I guess we have a lot of side quests to do before we go into the final dungeon. And then next Sunday, we'll be back with Suikogaiden Volume 2, which should take 2 streams just like this one. And then after that, we'll get started, oh my goodness, on the remasters of 1 and 2, which will be very exciting. I guess I should probably pre-order them, eh? Make sure I can download them day 1. And then once those are done, we're not going to do the guidance again, I don't think. We'll just go straight from 2 into 3, which I'm looking forward to so much because 3 is my favorite, and it's long, and I just enjoy walking around in the grasslands. Many, 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 many times crossing this stupid mountain path and the Amur Plains and all of those places. But it'll be a lot of fun, and hopefully it will run better despite being a PS2 game than Shadow Hearts. It does have its own problems with the emulator that aren't fixable, as far as I know. Something about the way it processes the cutscenes that have the black and white overlay is screwy. But generally speaking, it should be alright. So that's that. I guess we'll have to figure out what to do after Shadow Hearts is done. Maybe we'll go on to Shadow Hearts 2. Oh, well, thank you. I should probably look at them too, just to have an idea of what's coming. I know that obviously we have the dungeon that opens from looking at the Emigre document, and apparently you can go back there again, or you look at the Emigre document again and it brings you to a different version of the dungeon. So I guess you have to do it twice, which seems lazy to me, but that's fine. We'll do it. And we'll get everybody's best weapon and armor and go defeat, well, not God, but the thing that would bring God. Or maybe we'll be slightly too late and it will summon God and we'll have to defeat God. That seems pretty likely for a JRPG. Need to do it 3 times? Oh, it looks like such a terrible maze too, but I did take a screenshot of the map, so hopefully that'll help. So while we're waiting here, I guess we can figure out who we're gonna raid. I'm surprised this took almost the normal amount of time. I guess the second half of the game is a little longer than the first half of the game. Alright, so let's see here. Raid menu. Oh, the rest of the Forbidden Tomes. So there's more than just the Emigre document, apparently. Alright, so anybody we're friendly with doing anything good? Doesn't see, well, maybe not. I don't know. Let's see. If anybody's playing any Suikoden, that would be good for Suikoden Sunday, wouldn't it? I think there might be a slight post-credit scene. There we go.
How many months had it been since I left Greenhill? Tales brought over the wind speak of a new allied city-states army, and that they managed to liberate Greenhill. Yuri, Teresa, Shin, Jude, Amelia, Jean, Connell. I hope they're all safe. So, where are you headed? To finish your mission? Or... Are you gonna stand in my way? If you plan on holding me back, you better be ready to go through hell for it. Just like old times.
Woo, to be continued next week in Suikogaiden Volume 2. Okay, so that's that. What does that actually mean now? If we start with... Okay, so it's just data that saves all of the stuff that we've saved. Yeah, okay. Yes, for Japanese Suikoden 3. It would be really cool if someone made a mod that would allow you to do that with Suikoden, with English Suikoden 3. All right, so let's see. Is anybody playing? Okay, somebody is. Oh no, that's me playing Suikoden 2. Except not really, but somebody's playing Suikoden 4. So, oh wait, I think I know who this person is. And they were a little odd, so maybe not. Okay, so in that case, oops. Let's see if anybody else is playing a good game. Oh, it gets them from the get-go, but there's no information that's included, right? Or no scenes or conversations that happen. You would think that Nash might have something that he says to someone, or an interaction or something. Okay, so somebody's playing Eiyuden Chronicle. Got some people playing Chrono Trigger. Who's this person? Oh god, their their stream setup is visually disturbing to me. God, I can't find anybody. All right, well, in that case, let's raid. What is he playing, actually? I can't tell. Oh, Warcraft. I guess we could do Eiyuden. Let's see who's playing Eiyuden. Okay, so I don't know who to pick. I don't know who to pick. This person is. Oh, who knows? All right. Well, we're gonna try one of these Aiden people. In any case, thanks everybody for coming out tonight. I will see you next time, and in the meantime, have some food and sleep well.